Greetings and salutations, and welcome back to Two Dummies That Just Watch, a sports podcast between friends. This is episode number 85. I am one of your hosts, Will Hernandez, and I am here with the Avengers group this week. First, Mr. Eric Pimentel. Sir, what's going on? How are you today?
Good, bro. Things seems like I'm the only one that's working today, but
Yeah, for real. Like what is that all about? Yes, we are recording a little bit earlier today since Lee J and I were off today, and Eric finished his work early today. So it's a little after 3 o'clock here on a Monday afternoon. So yeah, Mr. Lee J Perilla, sir, what's going on? How's it going? How's the snow?
Howdy. God bless Eric. He's doing God's work. I personally don't give a shit. The snow's almost gone.
Oh,
Yeah,
not up
it's
here.
just snowed. It's almost gone. It's already. They said it feels like whatever temperature, but it feels a lot warmer outside, and the snow seems to be going away relatively quickly. So
Yeah,
good riddance.
that's definitely not the case up here. Um, I feel bad because so for those Lee J and I actually saw Lee J for the first time in 2.5 months, which is I don't know how the hell that happened, but my birthday was on Friday and we had a few people got together up here. So then we're thinking it starts snowing up here Saturday morning, and we knew it was in the snow. Like it wasn't a surprise that it was in the snow. But Lee J had to get back down to the city for his son's basketball game, and we're all thinking, oh, he'll get down there fucking easily. Sir, how long did it take you to get down to your son's basketball game on Saturday morning or early afternoon?
Go to hell, Governor. That's first what I want to say. God bless you. 2.5 hours, which is normally an hour and 10 ride with no traffic.
Insane, dude.
2 hours and a half. I missed his game. It was awful. I should have got there probably maybe the first quarter ending.
Yeah,
Nope, missed the whole game. And here's the problem. Like I told you, I'm not lying. There was 2 to 3 inches on 87.
that's
The
insane.
trucks didn't even go through there.
Shit.
So you know
bro.
what happens when there's snow on the highways, essentially? Everybody stays in the lane that everybody's driving in to get
Right.
the two
Yeah.
wheels.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Right.
Excuse me, the four wheels is lined up, so no one wants to take that chance and go into the lane that hasn't been shoveled yet,
Right.
and
Yeah.
wind up be the person that causes the accident,
Right.
right? Because there was a guy or a lady on the other side that was upside down. They wound up flipping
shit,
upside down.
really?
Yes, not too far once I left your house.
Well, at one point they did close down 84 going west.
Yeah,
Going west.
Because that just tells you in itself they didn't do what they were supposed to do. Listen, we were
Yeah.
talking about this Wednesday, Thursday, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we knew ahead of time, definitely.
You guys, if you're gonna tell me your excuses, well, we didn't expect it to hit this hard. I'm just tired. Like you send out all these trucks and all these for snowstorms that don't happen, and then when something happens, you know where to be found.
Yeah.
Bro, it was god awful. 2.5 hours should never happen, and it opened up like maybe an hour and a half into the ride, whatever the case may be. But there's a street that I turned down by your house that's essentially uphill.
Yes.
I don't know the name of that street. I'll just tell you what, I almost got stuck.
Jesus Christ.
I was flooring it. I was
Yeah.
flooring it.
I'm
And
not
the thing was only
surprised.
going up to 20 miles per hour.
Yeah,
I barely made it to the top.
I'm not surprised.
But so it went from when I originally left your house, I think it said an hour and 37 minutes, something like that. As I'm driving, it just
It got
goes from
going,
orange to red and it just keeps on going up
Yeah, that's awesome.
and up.
I love when that happens.
jeez.
And I'm just like, this stuff nowadays shouldn't be happening still. It just shouldn't be happening.
Usually, when you told me that, I was surprised because usually what they do is they pre-salt the highways, knowing that this is coming. And like you said, we knew that this was coming, and I'm just surprised that they didn't do that ahead of time. I will say this: like Newburgh did not do a good job of.
Bro, if they would have did a better job, I actually, because what happened was I missed the game. So essentially, I was going to take my son somewhere Tuesday. But since I had time, I was like, listen, go take a shower, get ready. I'll pick you up. I wanted to take him to the NBA store to buy his first jersey.
Yeah.
So I took him, and I was like, you know what? I'm thinking about going back. I said, but that ground is not going to get any better.
No, dude. I was like,
because I wasn't done hanging out, but the weekend was cut short because of that. I was like, I'm not taking that chance to go back. And then it snowed again,
right,
overnight, because that's Sunday. When we got the worst of it.
Yeah,
Sunday. But I was like, I'm not taking this chance. I'm just going to sit here and just watch football, and that'll be the end of that.
Well, that's the thing, because like Newburgh, I was saying before, Newburgh really didn't do a good job of plowing the streets. So Sunday, we ended up walking from their Airbnb to down by the waterfront to go to Billy Joe's.
Yeah, the streets were terrible by your house.
Yeah, so we have walking on what are the main roads down there? That was actually plowed, but the side streets were not plowed. And I'm like, I'm not driving because I could barely get up the driveway that we have here anyway. So it actually got stuck. I had to come out and shovel around the tires to get myself out because I actually got stuck at one point. So
yeah, Eric's over there. Eric's over there just laughing, bro, as I see the sun beaming through his fucking window.
I do not be
in his mind. He's like, I do not miss that shit.
No.
I mean, you probably wouldn't have a problem because you got a pickup, right?
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter though. I mean, that's irrelevant. I'm just to say because my landlord has a pickup too. But it's the point of like, once you leave, just stay wherever you are. That shit sucks.
Yeah, it was awful, dude.
Especially when the state doesn't prepare for it, and they should have been much more prepared for it.
Yeah, I didn't go out at all yesterday. I stayed home. Today was the first time I had to go do grocery shopping, and even still, the driveway here fucking sucks. So
yeah, we saw that post with all that food. I know we stayed home, man.
Dude, I didn't have any groceries, man. I had to order food.
Yo, I've never seen someone order rice and chicken with a side of meat.
Dude, that bowl of rice, that thing was
huge. I ordered from this Dominican place, and they always give a lot.
That'll do it. Dominican, bro. I'll never forget when I started dating my wife. I took her to this Dominican restaurant in Brooklyn, and my wife, she's tiny. She don't eat much or whatever. So I took her to this spot. Actually, it was in Williamsburg, and the lady just grabs the big ass spoon and she's like, bang, bang. I'm always like, whoa, 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 whoa. And she's like, no, I'll keep putting more. That's like, yo, that's how Dominican restaurants are. They don't.
Yeah, the Dominican spots, you gotta. If you don't want a lot of food, and even though it's still a lot of food, you gotta ask them for their lunch special.
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's a lot less. It's not a lot less. It's cheaper in price, not much, but it's still cheaper. And they do give you. They use the medium, I guess, the medium silver container as opposed to the large.
The large one, yeah.
Yeah,
that was
they
actually
charge you like $10 or something like that.
That was actually probably their equivalent of the lunch special. But I always get that
the lunch special with 10.
Yeah. Yeah. I always order from this place. Not always, but I
hope you don't always order from that place because forget about your diet plan. You're not going to look like this much longer.
I had to give the Uber, the DoorDash. I gave him like a $15 tip because it's like, bro, you're going out and risking your life.
While my lazy ass stays home. Tell him, there you go.
You know what, though? I got to say, at that point, Saturday mid-afternoon, it actually wasn't that bad out. And they had already started plowing the main roads around me because I saw that they came down my street. So it wasn't too bad. But anyway, I'm in my late 40s, by the way, officially. So, Eric, when is your birthday again?
July 19th.
Okay.
Oh, we can celebrate when we go down there. Let's go. I know it'll be a little early, but we can celebrate. Let's fucking go.
We can celebrate all being in the late 40s. Okay. This is a weekly sports podcast. Don't forget that we come at you each and every week on the podcast platform of your choice, mostly on Apple Podcast and Spotify. Don't forget you can I would say there are two main ways on social media is Instagram and YouTube. I will say one thing. I've noticed the past 4 to 5 days, we've been getting a lot of people, not a lot, but a fair number of people downloading old episodes. I saw somebody from Austin, Texas, somebody from a few people from California, somebody from St. Louis. I will say one thing: if you're going back to listen to old episodes, just do me a favor, hit that subscribe button on the podcast platform of your choice, so you can actually get the latest episodes from us. Some really weird episodes that people have gone back to listen to, which I don't quite understand, but it is what it is. So,
Did you get any downloads from like DC, Maryland area recently, or
hmm,
Virginia?
let's see. Well, I know with Virginia we always get because of Lee J's brother Jonathan lives in Virginia. Let's see, DC. I can tell you right now, we got somebody from South Carolina, which is very odd. Hmm. I don't think for anything recent. Why should I expect to see that? Or
Yeah, one of my boys I reconnected with lives in that area. I think he still lives in that area. So he said he would
do you
check it
know
out.
where in do you know where in Virginia he is?
I don't know exactly because I know he works out of DC, so but he has family in Virginia. So I don't know if he's in that Maryland, that trio
Gotcha.
Yeah, that
area.
trio. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know when we get usually when Jonathan downloads, it's from Stafford, Virginia. I don't know if he lives near there. DJ, is
He
that
just
where
moved.
he
He just
is?
moved. They just bought a new house there.
There you go. That's that, and that's Hey, maybe because we got two downloads from Stafford, Virginia. So maybe your buddy lives in that
No, and
area.
it could be. I
Yeah,
think maybe Eric's buddy. I also maybe I don't know my
Eric's
brother.
buddy. Yeah, yeah.
Who he relayed the message to or what he shares and his friends on Instagram see or whatever the case may be.
Yeah,
But maybe he does live over there. Who knows?
we usually get like 2 to 3 downloads from Virginia. So, all right, we got a lot to get to. We actually don't have a lot of topics, but not the problem. It's just the topics that we're going to be talking about. They're very. We can go into a lot of depth with it. And the first thing,
Will, real quick.
yes, uh huh,
You got the layout open up on your end.
yes, I do.
All right. So you left the halftime topic blank. I'm trying to
Yeah,
get
it's
to it
blank.
now.
It is
So whenever
blank.
you think that was a good midway point, just stop it and I got a couple of things and we'll just create it on the run.
Okay, so well, after the NFL stuff,
Yeah, there you go.
we can
Done. All right, let's go.
we can do
That's
that.
all.
So hold on, because I got to get my timestamp right. Let's talk about this whole thing with the Giants, because now we know by now it's official. Over the weekend, John Harbaugh and the Giants agreed to a 5-year contract. Apparently, it's being reported that it's worth $20 million a year, so it's $100 million contract. And this was one of the things I believe we talked about this last week, if I'm not mistaken. This was with just me and Lee J about, we were joking around about they can't let Harbaugh leave the facility, and he did end up leaving the facility. So here's the big thing here, and I don't know if you guys saw. The Athletic had a huge story this morning about they detailed the whole fucking process, and I actually pulled out some things here to talk about. I was looking at the article before we hopped on. One of the key sticking points of this whole thing was who Harbaugh was going to answer to at the end of the day. And Harbaugh told The Athletic a couple of times that he is reporting specifically to John Mara. Now, here's what I want to do here. Before I go into the details of some of this stuff that The Athletic published, I kind of want to go around the horn and just get our high level thoughts on the Giants doing this. I'll go for myself first. I mean, this was a no brainer. He shot up to the top of the charts as soon as he got let go by the Ravens. And I know Harbaugh, there was mutual interest there from everything that I've been reading that Harbaugh thought he would be a good fit for the Giants. I think the biggest thing here, and we'll get into it a little bit later on with Mara, John Mara specifically, his role in this whole thing. and this is the thing I've been complaining about the past couple of years. And I look back at the episode. I listened to the episode today, the one that we did after last season, after the 2024 season, and I felt as though I didn't think that Mara was taking winning seriously when you were keeping both Shane and Dabo. And I said it again this year when you kept Shane on. I'm glad they fired Dabo because a change was needed. I feel like the way this whole negotiation went, and the Giants realizing that they need to turn this around and do something different. And maybe the reason why they're giving Harbaugh so much power is because they're realizing they need to do something different. I think at the end of the day, this was the best move. This was a great move. I tell you this right now, they need to make the fucking playoffs next year. That's my opinion. I don't want to see double wins, fine, 8 wins, but I think you have to make the playoffs next year to really, at the end of the day, say that this was worth it. So, Eric, your overall thoughts about this whole thing?
I totally agree that Harbaugh was the guy. The minute he got fired, like I said, that game, the Tomlin, Steelers Ravens, I was like, whoever loses this game is probably going to lose his job. Both of them ended up losing their job.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the guy I wanted. That's the guy they targeted. And kudos to the Giants, and kudos to Chris Mara, and kudos
he was involved heavily. Yeah,
and kudos to Steve Tisch, because we all talked about John Mara. Who's going to step up in John Mara's issues with his health, and Steve Tisch's name wasn't heard up until a couple of weeks ago. Mm-hmm. So I mean, he stepped up. He went to pick him up in his jet, and wined and dined him. So they got the job done. So kudos to that. As far as next year, I mean, I would love to make the playoffs, but I would say at least double your wins, which is 8 or 9. You have to double your wins.
You got to double your wins, yes.
Because if you think about it, I mean, we're not going to go back and look at which games they should have won, so on and so forth. But this roster is going to definitely improve with Harbaugh, having last say on everything instead of Shane. I think, I would say 8 to 9 wins to me will be obviously an improvement, but and then the playoffs is, the icing on the cake if they do that.
I don't want to see these motherfuckers drafting in the top 5 next year again.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, seriously, I don't. Lee J, your overall high-end thoughts on this whole situation?
Well, I agree with Eric because I told you that this weekend. 8 wins, maybe 9. But I'm not gonna hide from him. I'm gonna also say the other thing I told you this weekend.
Sure.
And I don't know why I have this feeling. This is the last big high. And listen, I agree with the high. He's a big name. Anyone was gonna hire him and give him that much money. So I'll say that. I just don't know why. And I don't know if you remember this, Will, but I told you what I related this to was the Knicks hiring Larry Brown. Oh, and I don't know why I feel that way.
Jeez.
I can't give you a reason why. I could relate it to everything I said last week. He's had an MVP. He's had talent. He's had the most and done the least. Excuse me. I don't know why I have that feeling. I'm not trolling. If I was trolling, trust me, Will would know. I'm not.
Right.
I don't know why I have that feeling. It could be the players. Not sure. I don't know them personally. I just don't know why I have this feeling. I really don't.
So I'll give you like a perspective that I heard because I was listening on Saturday while I was doing some stuff around my house. I put on WFAN and they were interviewing a beat reporter from Baltimore. And they were asking like his side of things. And he says, listen, he's an amazing coach. It was just time. Like sometimes, the writing on the wall is there where the team just hears the same voice for 18, 19 years and they just need to change. One thing though that he brought up, what he said, Monday through Saturday, John Harbaugh is one of the best coaches, like as far as motivation, practice, things like that. Sundays, game days, they think he lacks sometimes on when to call a timeout, clock management, things like that. That's what they talked about. And he also said, like what Lee J said, how he's had the best players, but a lot of times like Mark Andrews catching that pass wide open, dropped it.
Right.
So there were some instances where obviously coaching is had nothing to do with the winning or losing.
No, I get that too, but it's like I feel like sometimes, depending on who you're reporting or who's your team, the narrative changes for everybody. Like I don't really want to use my shitty team in this comparison, but I'm going to use them. Like a lot of things Glenn got blamed for that doesn't have anything to do with him. That has to do with players, but it matters to him it doesn't matter. And I'm not trying to, take jabs at Harbaugh. That's not what I'm doing. He's a great coach, but it's like it's got to stay relative to everyone, and not just you know what I'm trying to say. Like, oh, Glenn's a first timer. He's the reason why they had no interceptions. Well, Harbaugh's not the reason why Mark Andrews dropped the ball. It's kind of the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Or his team didn't do this in this situation. I don't know. Listen, the Giants had to do it. They had to pay him.
Absolutely.
He is I would assume an A-type personality. He's going to try to get these guys in line. Because listen, Giants football hasn't been good for a long time. And that's unacceptable. Especially with, they have trophies in the cabinet there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. One thing I'll say to Eric's point that I have to say that I read that I was a little concerned about. And after you guys saw this. So, I'll wait till Leachy's head's going to fucking explode. We haven't heard this one yet. Because it has to do with analytics. And that's got to do with analytics.
Oh, boy.
Here's the thing. This is what I read. I forget where I read this, Pat. So, he is the type of coach that will combine the analytics with his gut. Right?
Yeah, the reporter said that as well.
Yeah. Here's the problem, though.
Hold on, real quick. Eric, this reporter actually is a reporter for Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, he's a beat reporter for the Baltimore Ravens. Yeah.
Here's the problem with the approach that I do not like. I don't know if you guys read this. He's got somebody in his headset telling him the probability of things as the game goes on. So he's telling him, hey, this play will likely result our best chance of getting our first down in this fourth and whatever situation. But the thing is that Harbaugh takes that information and he doesn't necessarily go make the decision based on what the guy's telling him, but it combines the analytics with his gut feeling. I've never heard of somebody doing that.
Yeah. I'm actually okay with that.
Real time. You're okay with that. Okay. Why is that? Because
he's not saying, like, they're just not saying, okay, 75% this play is going to work. And he's like, all right, let's do it. At least he's thinking about, okay, how's this game going? Where, where we need this, we need that. So at least it's okay to get the numbers and just make your decision on not just go clear through numbers.
Right. I'll be curious because they already said that they're going to revamp the whole analytics department. And I think this is going to be like the main thing we're going to see is them relying on analytics more. But I think you would think that Harbaugh is old school enough that he's not going to always rely on that at the end of the day to make decisions. But I thought that was really interesting because that was the first case I've ever heard of was that he was actually admitting that there was somebody talking in his ear to give him real-time analytics as the game goes on. Lee J, how do you feel about that? What's your thought on that?
The game has changed, bro. It's
crazy. And I get it. It's like to the three-point concept. But here's the thing with the three-point concept in the NBA. You're going to shoot threes no matter what. So let's take that off the table because I'm just trying to have something relative to the situation.
Sure, yeah. I knew
analytics took a shit all over the bed this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Because you can't tell me they weren't doing analytically what they did, especially Ben Johnson.
They were. Yeah.
It took a dump. They shot all over the bed. All over the bed. It's like, and we'll talk about it later as we go on different things that happened this weekend and blah, 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 and this is more relative. I just don't think there's enough time between because NFL, I've always said this. Football makes things so complicated, right? And I don't think it needs to be that complicated. So I'll say this. There's so much going on in that headset in a small amount of time that he's got to diagnose what the analytical guy's telling him to what he thinks is going on, gut-wise, what he thinks is going on, what he sees.
What the coordinators
it's just
are telling
too
him.
much. Yes, it's just too much.
It's a lot.
These things should already be, like, talked about and reviewed and
Beforehand,
gone over
yeah.
the course of the year beforehand, so
Yeah.
that when these opportunities happen, listen, it's 3rd and goal. We're from the 2. This is what we're going to do. Analytics says the percentage is 83% if we run to the left. Come on, man. Like, what the fuck?
If that happens in every play, I would go nuts.
I don't think it does.
I don't think it's every. I think
in
it's
key
like
moments.
it's more to the like the
Yeah.
goal line
3rd down.
and like 3rd and 1 from like the 20.
Yes. Right.
And you're down by like 7. Should you take the 3 or should you go for? I
Yep.
think it's more like to
That's
those
exactly
type
what
of
it
plays.
is. Yes, I believe
And
so.
there's so much going on. Just it drove me nuts yesterday, especially in that Chicago Rams game, because I know it was happening. I know it was happening.
Yeah, of course.
Just make a call, man. You know what needs to be called at a particular. He's been doing this for too long, man. And to be honest with you, I'm surprised that he leans so much toward the analytical side. Being such a veteran that's been along for so long that he knows certain situations and what he should do and what he shouldn't do.
Right. Yeah.
But like the game's changed. I get that, but we're just making this a lot more difficult than it needs to be.
Mm-hmm.
So here going back to the whole thing about how much power Harbaugh has. This is what the Athletic reported, and I, this is listen. He spoke. So let's. By the way, people saying this is bullshit. No. He spoke. Not only is John Harbaugh quoted in the story, Chris Mara is quoted in the story. So all this happened. This is all confirmed. So this is not bullshit. For anybody questioning the integrity of the story, this is what happened. So this is what was said. Part of the story said Harbaugh needed it in writing that he would report to John Mara and not to Shane, a fact that ran counter to the way the Giants have conducted business. New York had historically been a GM-centric organization, even with tough guy coaches and 2-time champions Bill Parcells and Tom Coughlin. Harbaugh was pushing ownership to change to more of a coach-driven model, and it was taking time to get there. That's why it was taking so long for the contract to come together. Now, this is a combination of what O'Connor is kind of hypothesizing and what he's been told, blah, blah, blah. This wasn't about Shane. The coach definitely feels he can work with the GM. So I'm assuming Harbaugh said something to O'Connor that makes him think that this was the case. Direct quote. Harbaugh wanted the ability to impact the entire operation, from security to training to analytics to media relations to staff size to assistant salaries to relocation expenses to you name it. And yes, in the unlikely event there's a stalemate on draft day between Harbaugh and Shane, there's no longer any question who will prevail. This is the quote from Chris Mara. I think both sides needed to huddle up and make sure we were all on the same page at the end of the day, Chris Mara said. It took a little more give and take for both sides to come to an agreement. One more final thing. The final thing came down to a conversation between John Mara, the owner, and Harbaugh. From The Athletic, John Mara, 71, came to an agreement with his 63-year-old brother to give the 63-year-old Harbaugh the tools he needs to make the Giants contenders again. Chris Mara handled the final round of negotiations with Harbaugh on Saturday afternoon and relayed the terms required to close the deal to his brother and Tish. So, maybe it's not necessarily about player personnel at the end of the day, but it sounds like Harbaugh wants to have a say with these other ancillary things. Now, whether that's actually the case at the end of the day, I don't know. We'll see. I think the telling point's going to be what happens after this year, because I don't know how many years Shane has on his contract. So it's just going to be a situation where they better have some market improvement, or Shane gets fired. I don't know, but Legion, does that change your view on anything with Harbaugh? That it wasn't necessarily about the players, but more about everything else?
Not really. I'll say this. I was listening to the morning show today on Rewind as I was cleaning up the house and all of that. And then I had to listen back on Friday because apparently Boomer Esiason said this was all bad reporting somehow, some way, because he said it. Remember what I asked you on Saturday? I said, why would Harbaugh go? And I didn't know. And listen, I went to your house Friday. I didn't listen to any radio, nothing. I was listening to something else on the ride up there. And today was the first time I listened to since Friday, and I don't know if you heard Eric. But Boomer said this was bad reporting. He said he was not worried at all because what I asked you on Saturday, I said, why would Harbaugh go through all of this to now back out because of Shane? Shane was there already.
Yeah, right. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
And this is exactly what Boomer said. I had to listen back on Friday. This is what he said, and he said it today. He said he was never worried about this. He said he doesn't take Harbaugh as that guy. And I think earlier in that week, there was already a report that Shane said that he would like, what's the word I'm looking for? Almost like not submit. I don't want to say that. That's weird.
But
Almost like
that's what it is though.
He would go with what he's saying because, and the example was he didn't want to draft Dart, but Dayball did, so he went with Dayball.
Right.
So that report came out beginning of the week, and I've started to think that once I heard Boomer talking about this, I said there might be a little bit of truth to that. And this might be saying they go back to him and say, listen, we already talked to this guy. Just say this when you go out there. We're gonna say this. We will all be on the same page, and let's just move forward. And maybe that's what happened. I don't know, man. I think sometimes these guys that are on radio, especially that have played sports before, sometimes have an insight on things. I don't know that. I'm just saying he said it, and that's what it seems like came true.
Yeah, I heard the same thing when Boomer said, and he has a point where, I mean, you get to a point where you're almost at signing the dotted line. You're not going to back up. I think the only time that happened was with Josh McDaniel when he bounced on the Colts.
Yes.
That's the only time that's ever happened. So, I mean,
and he's a weasel.
Yeah.
I never thought that about Harbaugh. Yeah, it was like, oh my God, blah, blah, blah. But I didn't listen to the show then to where I would have been like, oh, you know what? I'm going to actually listen to what Boomer has to say. Because, his word, I would think, is almost 100%. You know what I mean? Or his opinion.
So, so part of the story also says that both sides were working in good faith. Like they wanted to get it done.
Yeah, I mean,
it's just a matter of getting out the details. But apparently, I don't know if you guys saw this. There were teams getting ready to pounce.
Yeah,
of course, because they have to. Of course, because they have to do. They have to do that.
Bro, how embarrassing would that shit have been? Oh my God.
Oh God, it would have been awful, bro.
But it goes to your point, Eric, bringing up Josh McDaniels because I couldn't remember the example. I don't take Harbaugh as that guy.
No,
he's been around too long to do that. I don't know. I didn't see that. I didn't see that happening.
And I think I think reading some of the quotes that apparently when he got fired by the Ravens, he said the Giants jumped to the top of the list because he said he can see himself being the head coach for a franchise that is a cornerstone of the league. Now, that's not been the case the past how long, really, outside of 2 miracle Super Bowl wins, if you want to call them that, and the one playoff appearance that we had under Dayball. But I always say this: it's the Tiffany franchise of the Giants. It's basically the Giants, the Steelers. Who else falls under that category?
Packers,
right? The Bears,
New England.
I'm talking about like original NFL teams. Those you're supposed to expect those teams to be successful year in and year out, and that just hasn't been the case for the Giants. Don't forget, even in between the Super Bowl wins, they weren't that good. So there was like never any consistency. So I don't know, man. I hope. Listen, he's 63, right? Takes him through being if he gets out does the whole contract, he'll be 68. My only hope is that you hire somebody on the staff that you can turn to kind of be the heir apparent. That's what I would want to see.
And I think, Harbaugh is not. You look at Harbaugh and he doesn't look like the typical, 63-year-old. I think he could coach 10 more years. Honestly.
Probably,
He doesn't have white man syndrome. But they look like they're 80.
Yeah. But I think you're right about, focusing on maybe grooming a guy after like that 3rd or 4th, 5th year.
Yeah.
Think about finding somebody to groom eventually for that position.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see who they bring in for like offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator.
Is Munkin's coming in preparing.
Oh, that's right. Well, let's see what happens with
he's not taking over because he might be older than fucking Harbaugh.
Well, I mean, maybe you hire like a wonder kid assistant or something like that.
I'm hearing for defensive coordinator, maybe Jim Leonard. I know the Jets interviewed him.
Yeah, that's who I want. The Jets. He I added him to the list of the other two guys I wanted. But I think Jim Schwartz is going to get the Browns job because I think he had a second interview with them for their head coaching job. So they're probably just going to stay in house. And then they also interviewed Martindale. So yeah, I also saw something real briefly. I don't know if I didn't get to really too deep. They were talking about maybe Anthony Weaver. I think he played in the NFL before. He was the DC of the Dolphins, but I'm not sure of his contract and all of that.
Oh yeah,
Young dude.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what you're saying is a nice transition to. I did want to talk about some of the other things that are happening now with coaching, and I guess we can kind of jump the ship and talk about the Bills, but we'll get to them in a minute. So, Kevin Stefanski, who interviewed for the Giants position, he has agreed to terms with the Falcons to be their next head coach. Here's the thing, and this for context, Lee J, Eric, and myself have a text thread behind the scenes because we're always sending each other shit. And Eric had sent us a bunch of stuff about people being upset with the Stefanski hire, and shockingly, there was racial undertones for it. But here's the thing that I don't understand with this whole thing, because I was looking at the NFL.com article and I copied and pasted it here because there was this whole thing about him not being a winning coach or whatever. Here's what I don't understand. Stefanski is coming off a 6-year stretch as a Browns head coach, during which he made the playoffs twice. He did make the playoffs.
Yeah, I think the first 2 years. I think the first 2 years though with Baker Mayfield.
Right. That's yeah. And then as we've talked about, listen, I will not. There's nothing anybody can tell me otherwise that the fucking Browns ownership and whatever fucked over Stefanski with Deshaun Watson, and then they fucked him over even more by drafting Shador Sanders. Because he was going to be in a no-win situation. Anyway.
Well, to be fair, they drafted Dylan Gabriel first, which he stuck with. And he didn't push Shador in. He kept with Dylan Gabriel. And I said it, that guy's not an NFL quarterback.
Right.
And he kept rocking with him.
Sure.
And also, we don't know, because obviously we're not there, to say, oh, we just, all the rumors is this and that and the third. You're the coach. You have to have some kind of say in who comes in here and who's signed. Yes, they're going to sign him regardless. But you're going to get fired regardless. So if you don't think Watson's the guy, fuck it, bench him. Who cares? Who cares? You're going to get fired regardless one way or another. So to say, I don't take no blame for that, I don't really rock with that. That's not really my opinion.
Yeah, but was that coming from a higher ups that they had to play him because of the contract?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
That was always the rumor.
Okay, you're still the coach. What they're going to do, come down here and put him into the game? No, he's not playing. That's it. You're going to fire me regardless. And when I look right at the end of the day, I'm going to get another job anyway. This is the problem. Like, we could point the finger and say, they didn't do this for me and they didn't do that. What did you do? You just rocked. You got to take blame too. I'm sorry. And then his last 4 years have been losing years. Period. Stop. That's how you look at things. That's it. And that's why he got axed.
It didn't hurt him from getting another job.
He was going to get another job because he's still young and he has this great offensive mind. And the reason why he went to Atlanta is because they have a lot of talent there. So this offensive mind, let's see what happens with all this talent. If he goes there and it goes 5-11, what you think is going to happen?
Chaos.
There you go. He probably will get fired again. That quick. Seriously. But that's just my opinion.
I'm curious to see what. Yeah, it's going to be a retrospect thing. Let's see how he does in Atlanta, and then maybe we can look back at the whole Cleveland Brown situation.
They got talent there, man. We've said it. All three of us have said it for a while. Atlanta probably needs an offense. They're the team that really needs an offensive coach. They really need one. They got a lot of talent there, man. And there's no way they should have been. What they went 8-9. That division had all the same record, right? 8-9.
Yeah,
they shouldn't have been 8-9, bro. There's no way. I'm sorry. But let's see what happens. You're right
It's
about
funny
that.
because that game that they lost to the Jets ended up being the difference in them making the playoffs and not
Yeah, no,
not making the playoffs.
I had them making the playoffs this year. That division,
I think I did as well. They had.
that talent, yeah.
I think the Giants should go after Kyle Pitts because I think he's a free agent.
Phew, I'll take them.
Eric,
I believe that. I really believe. I do. I think that.
Eric, what's been the general outside of what you sent us? I know you don't listen
He
to.
sent us multiple things about everybody hating on it.
It's fucking stupid. Well, Eric, say what you. I mean, what's? I know you don't listen to Atlanta sports talk radio, but what's like the general consensus that you're hearing? How about your coworkers this morning? How are they feeling about it?
None of them talked about it. I don't. I told you. I think there's more people that are Georgia Bulldogs fans than Atlanta Falcons. But anyway, it's.
I can see that.
You saw the post I sent you guys because that just started popping up on my feed. I guess because I live out here, and I'm like, this is ridiculous. So I sent you guys a screenshot. I text my patient because he's a season ticket holder, and you saw his take. He's like, I'm gonna see if it works. He says he's all about the winning culture and mentality and stuff like that. So I understand his point. But to your point, Will, I think his own ownership and stuff like that didn't help him. And Stefanski, if Harbaugh didn't get hired, Stefanski is who I wanted.
Right.
So he was my second choice. So I don't think it's a bad move, but over here, like you said, racial undertones about black coach getting fired and black GM getting fired. Yeah. No. Listen, I don't care if my GM or my quarterback is black, blue, whatever. I just want to win. That's it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There has to be accountability. Nobody is above not being accountable.
Yeah.
You have to be accountable. So if you're doesn't matter what color you are, you've got to take accountability. That's
And
then, go ahead. Yeah.
And here's the thing to prove their point. I've been seeing posts that shows Stefanski's last 2 years and the previous what's his guy? I already forgot his name. Raheem Morris's last 2 years. And Raheem Morris has won, I think he's won like 12 games or something like that, as opposed to 8. I think he's won 16 games in 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're just saying, oh, look who we hired and look who we fired. But how about looking at Stefanski's entire career instead of just looking at the last 2 years?
Yeah, people don't want to.
I'll make it simpler than that. Just look at the talent that he had on offense compared to the talent that he had on offense in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
So you're just looking at it. This is why I also say you just got to look at the game. Like the number, yes, is greater than Stefanski's, and this is to give credit a little bit to Stefanski and less to Morris. But what we just said, there was more talent in fucking Atlanta. 8 wins is unacceptable, bro. I'm not an Atlanta Falcons fan, and I'm not speaking for those fans, but they would rather have Atlanta's offensive roster as opposed to Cleveland's offensive roster, correct?
Exactly.
That has to do with it. So 16 wins or whatever you had in the last 2 years, that's just kind of they're just trying to make a narrative for themselves to make it more about race as opposed to what's actually on the field playing the game. You know what I mean? I'm tired of that, man. You guys got to come up with something else.
And it doesn't help that
it's really tiring. And it does,
It doesn't help that Deion Sanders is commenting on these posts.
Yeah, of course.
And Cam Newton comes out of nowhere also with his rhetoric. Yeah, it doesn't help.
Cam Newton's mad because the Colts didn't fucking call him and they called Phillip Rivers. Get over it, dude.
And they're mad about Matt Ryan and this, that, and the third. I'm like, I'm sorry. Matt Ryan's a franchise staple. How are you not going to give him a chance to do what he's going to do?
I would say Matt Ryan, dare I say, is like the Lawrence Taylor of Atlanta.
Yeah, exactly.
He sits on
him and the Dirty Bird guy. Who was that?
Jamal Anderson.
Jamal Anderson.
There's a bunch of people that all right, I know why he got that job. Come on, man. We got to be a little smarter than that. We know why Matt Ryan got that job.
Right. Yeah.
Come on, guys. Come on.
Some of the comments.
It's lazy.
Bro. Some of the comments on you people don't. I'm sorry, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And you making. They were calling. And not to get political, but they were like, oh, the reason why blank hired these white people is because he's a Trump supporter.
Oh, Arthur Blank, yeah.
Arthur Blank contributed to Kamala Harris's presidential run. So you guys are getting your information. You guys don't know what you're talking about.
No, Raheem Morris had a chance. And I think you looked it up when I brought it up. He was also an interim coach here before they decided to go with someone else at that time. Right. But then he gave him another chance to be the full-time coach, and he shat. Can we just say he effed that up? Can we just say that? He sucked at his job, and we have to move on. He's a long-time DC. Let's just stick with that. Because guess what? No other team wants him.
Right. He hasn't been really. Haven't seen him.
I think the Giants interviewed him.
Yeah.
Did we really think the Giants were going to take him over John Harbaugh?
We know why.
Even if John Harbaugh didn't come to the Giants? Yeah. Come on, man. Stop.
Yeah. We know why he got interviewed. We know why. Stupid fucking rule.
Stupid rule.
Sorry. The rule's
stupid. No, it's stupid. It's a stupid rule. I actually think it's offensive, but okay, whatever.
I think so too. I think it is too. No other team has hired anybody, at least the last time I checked. But we found out today, and I guess this can go into we can transition into what happened this weekend. But first, Sean McDermott's out at the Bills after 9 years. I saw some people joking around with memes about, oh man, if Harbaugh would have known that this was going to happen. Yeah. Stop it. Enough, guys.
I'm just happy. I'm just glad the Giants hired him before he got fired.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that coaching job is a good job.
That is. Yeah, that is. So here we go. Here's what during that time, the 9 years, the Bills had the second most wins of any franchise since 2017. He took Buffalo to the playoffs in 8 of those seasons, reaching the AFC Championship game twice, but coming up short on a Super Bowl appearance. And I think that is the perfect place to transition into what happened this past weekend and why Sean McDermott finds himself out of a job, because the Bills lost to the Broncos this past weekend, 33-30. And listen, guys, we've talked about this ad nauseum on this show for a long time, especially preseason show, NFL preview show, and then during the year when all these top names didn't have a shot. Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson. This shit was here for him on a fucking silver platter. Now, you have to do it as a 6 seed. That's fine. But still, it's not like fucking Bo Nix's, Joe Montana. And lo and behold, that's it. I don't want to hear it anymore. I'm done. I'm done talking about Josh Allen. Done
but
talking.
I'm a Bills fan. The referees robbed us.
I mean, the officiating was bad. Two things.
No, the officiating actually was really good that game. They let them play.
Well, with that particular play, though,
that I as soon as I said it, me and my brother texted each other. Yeah. I think that was an interception.
Yeah, but then almost the same thing happened similar in the Bears-Rams game, and it was a
difference between that game, in my opinion. And I told Danny when he texted, if my memory serves me correct, his knee hit the ground and then he ripped it out. That's the difference. That's the difference to me. Yeah. Everything happened simultaneously in the Bills-Broncos to where then you couldn't see a portion where the ball was still moving. Even Tiki Barber said where the ball was still moving, and then McLaughlin came out with the ball. And then you look at what's his name, Cooks. He knew it.
He didn't say nothing.
Guys usually get up and say, "Oh, I caught that first down," but or argue with He walked right to the sideline and had nothing to say.
I think part of the issue too was that they didn't really review it either.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. They saw it and they moved on. That was, and it was called on the field as an interception.
Interception.
So they have to see something that makes it so egregious that it's not an interception. That's the problem. But the real nitty gritty is that these rules, along with football, is too fucking complicated. It's too complicated.
Yeah, it's too complicated. I feel like they change.
I mean,
once a year.
Let's be fair. The Bills should have lost the game on a holding in the end zone, and it should have been a safety. Did the referees call that? The guy had him around his neck. Go back and look at it.
Yeah.
And what did they say? They said, we can't end this. They said to themselves, we can't end this game here on a safety. They would have got killed. But they didn't do that. They let them play, right? But let's make this even a little more simpler. If that was the Bills and that happened to them and it was an interception, do you think they would say, "Nah, that's not an interception. Give the ball back"? So everyone needs to stop. Seriously, it's football, and that's the nature of the game.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, part of it's that they should have never been in that position to begin with. I mean, that's what it. I feel like that's what it really comes down to.
Everyone had their chances. Everyone had their chances. You know what I'm saying? Injury plays a part in everyone's season and every team's season. Referees play a part in everyone's season. For the most part, those pass interference plays at the end of the game too. I heard them saying, "Oh, but those were egregious though. They had to be called." These I remember back in the day that as a cornerback, you had to look. If you weren't looking, they called the flag on you.
Yeah. Can turn your back.
Right? None of these cornerbacks are even looking, man.
Yeah.
Their hands are all Tre'Davious White acting like a big ass baby with the referee. Bro, that was pass interference, man. The guy had 2 steps on you and you just grabbed him. Yeah. That's a flag. All day, every day, and twice on Sunday. I don't understand. And this is not a Bills thing or whatever thing. That's just my opinion. I mean, come on, man. Come on, guys. Come on. You're not giving it back if it happened to you, and you got to accept it if it happens to you. That's it. Period. Stop.
Eric, your thoughts on the Bills?
Yeah, I mean, we talked, like you said, we talked about it on the preview episode, and I mentioned that don't be surprised if McDermott gets fired if they don't win it all. Mm-hmm. And that's exactly what happened. I mean, you can't go, lose after lose after. You could win as much regular season games as you want, but the proof is in the pudding. How many rings you got, and it may just be, we're gonna change for change's sake. Sometimes that doesn't happen. That doesn't work out right. Sometimes it does.
Well, I mean, they might be going along that route because, listen, I don't think, because there were people saying they're going to blow it up, and maybe, I don't know, but you're going into a brand new expensive stadium next year. You have to put a winning product on the field to fill that stadium. So I don't think that this is going to be one of the situations where they're going to start from scratch. I really don't believe that. Listen, it's Josh Allen's still Josh Allen, for better or worse. He's still young-ish. What is he, 30? It's not like he's fucking 38. But I don't know. Something's got to change over there, and I'll be curious to see who they bring in. That's the bigger thing.
Hold on,
who takes that job? Yeah.
Oh yeah. Who takes that? That's a good question.
Who takes that fucking job?
Brian Daboll.
I could definitely see that.
Can you imagine?
I'm telling you.
I could definitely, because he'll go back. Yeah. I could see that. I wouldn't actually. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
That would be fucking insane.
I could definitely see that 100%. Because how much credit they give him for Allen, for who Allen is, and he's already, and he came from there.
I'm trying to see. Hold on, because it was an article that I saw with a headline about top candidates already.
Kubiak could be one.
Kubiak.
5 potential.
This is strictly an offensive guy. They're gonna go away. I think they're gonna go away from a defensive guy, just because. Do they put Brady in the head coaching?
He's one of them. Yes.
Their OC. Do they bring him down and say he's the head coach now?
He's one of them. Number 2 is Shula.
He's a defensive guy, though.
Yep.
I don't know about that one.
Kubiak.
Eric just said that.
Yep. Minter.
He's another defensive guy, no?
Yeah. And here's the wild card that one people.
Salah?
No, John Gruden.
Oh, come on.
Come on. His new nickname is Wally Backman.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. This is the Wally Backman of football.
Man, can we stop already, bro? Can we go with new, young, innovative?
Don't kill the messenger.
Golly, man.
Blame, let's see, Jordan Dejani of CBSSports.com. He's the one who was putting out his name there.
But real quick here, I'm looking at the little numbers you wrote down here, Will, after 9 years at the helm for McDermott.
Yep.
You said it already, 98-50. Most wins since 2017 of any franchise.
Right.
Playoff appearances in 8 of those seasons. Reaching the AFC Championship game twice, but coming up short of the Super Bowl appearance.
Yes.
This is a perfect example of it just may have been time. So what's supposed to wait to 120 and 50?
Right.
Still
Yeah.
no Super Bowl
right.
appearances.
Yeah.
Still no Super Bowl wins. 130 and 50, 250. It's just sometimes and sometimes people aren't deserving of being fired. But it's just when you look at all the years they've been there, it's like Thibodeau. We're gonna go as far as we can go with you. We need a new voice. We need a new set of eyes. You're still a great coach, but we have to move on. And I think this is it. He's the perfect example of that, but in football.
I'm going to bring up this question now because I've been thinking about it all weekend, and we'll get back into the playoff stuff. Jets, Aaron Glenn. Think about this. I think McDermott takes a year off, right? You got McDermott out there.
Well, he mentioned it somewhere that he wants to go back. He wants to coach right away. So who knows? He may get a job right away.
Well, let's pretend. Let's say McDermott doesn't get another job. He takes a year off, whatever. Tomlin's out there. Take a year off. Do you think? Is there any way that if Aaron Glenn does not show some kind of improvement with the Jets next year, that Woody Johnson's going to get fucking so aggravated and frustrated that if one of these guys is still available, like a McDermott or Tomlin, that he's going to be like, fuck it. I'm going after one of these guys because I can't be patient enough with Aaron
It's not even about him being frustrated or aggravated. I just think that's already on the writing's already on the wall for Aaron Glenn. There's nothing about him being frustrated or aggravated. It's just what it is. This is football. When a big name comes up, this is what happens. I don't want anti-America McDermott, so you can fuck off.
Anti-America McDermott.
That's it. So I don't think it's a frustration thing or anything like that. I just think that if they have there's no improvement, no anything, he's gonna get axed. And he's gonna go after Tomlin. That's the only guy he's gonna go after if he's available. If he still wants to coach.
Eric, what do you think about that whole situation? I've been thinking about it all weekend for whatever reason.
Yeah, I mean, this would have been the perfect year to hire a quarterback coach because there's so many out there, so many job openings. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I agree. Next year, I mean, if he doesn't show significant improvement, I don't mean like a couple of games.
Yeah,
you gotta. In my opinion, you have to. They won 3 games.
You got to win 6 to 8.
You got to win at least 7 games, 7 or 8 games.
Yeah, 6 to 8. Yeah.
Yeah,
I agree.
If he doesn't have significant improvement, I'm going after Tomlin. But that's the thing is like, you think about the Giants and the Harbaugh situation. Like they always said that Harbaugh targeted the Giants specifically because they had a quarterback in place that he liked.
Yes.
The Jets don't have that. So to get a guy like Tomlin, you're going to have to pay him out the you-know-what for him to take that job and then hopefully draft a quarterback.
Well, don't forget you got to trade for him too.
Yeah, that too.
That's not. They'll get a 3rd rounder or something, 4th rounder. Yeah. I'm not. You're not going to do a 1st or 2nd rounder. You get a 3rd rounder, 4th. That's fine. But besides Roethlisberger, Tomlin's used to winning without fucking NFL ready QBs or any QBs at all. Right. Which is why I always said I don't know why he gets so much heat, because this is the problem with like people wanting to we're going off on a little tangent here. I am.
That's fine.
It doesn't make sense because he's got to go this. But this, like, Tomlin is the perfect example of always winning, but never having the opportunity to draft a quarterback, but always making the playoffs. But they're not going to go far because they don't have a quarterback. But they can't draft a quarterback because they're always good and they make the playoffs.
Yeah. But here's the thing, like in Tomlin's situation, like Tomlin's already an established coach. He's not going to go nowhere that he has to like really, really rebuild. He's not going to go to Arizona. He's not going to go to teams like that. Mm-hmm. So for this year, the Jets have to improve significantly, not only in the record for Aaron Glenn's sake, but also in the player roster. To get some good players in there too. If you want to lure Mike Tomlin there, that's just one less thing he has to worry about.
And that's all changed now. We can get into it quickly now. Sorry, guys. We'll get to the rest of the NFL because this stuff is coming up on my mind. We know now that the Moore from Oregon, he's going back to school. And that was a guy that the Jets potentially had on their radar to draft that with the 2nd overall pick. So and Lee J, you brought this up. You even said if you don't like any of these guys, don't draft them, right? So now you're forced, basically. Moore's gone. He's off the board. I don't know if there's anybody else that's going to be rise to that. Maybe if this guy doesn't get his other eligibility, Ole Miss guy, I don't know. I don't know if
Chambliss.
Chambliss. I don't know how good that guy is.
Ty Simpson is from Alabama.
I don't want him because he's only played like 10 games in Division I, so I'm out on him. Everyone else is crazy about him. I'm not.
Chambliss.
Listen, Chambliss. You take the best guy at number 2. I saw something where you take the best guy at number 2, and at that time, I think it was a receiver or even the linebacker from Ohio State, which I'm not. I don't have a problem with.
Who Eric wants.
That dude is money.
Which I don't have a problem with. And they have this guy. Eric just mentioned him, and I would take him in the later first round and just see what happens. And that's the guy from Alabama. I wouldn't mind that.
Ty Simpson.
Eric, what were you saying about the other options?
No,
Ty more of a handle on this than we do.
Ty Simpson is the other quarterback that people are talking about that might raise up in the rankings, but
like a late first round or even like early second round.
Yeah. I mean, maybe with the 7, I think the Jets have 2 first round picks, like the 17th
2
pick
first round picks, and I think they have the first pick in the second round.
Yeah, so maybe one of those picks they could grab Simpson, unless he's a combine hero and gets shot up to top 5 or something. Like always happens every freaking year. So.
Lee J loves that, the combine heroes.
Fucking grown-ass men playing in their underwear, and then the fucking next fucking Joe Montana. Fuck off.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get back on the playoff wagon. The Patriots. Man, what a fucking ugly game that was. My God. They win 28-16. What were their combined, 9 turnovers in that game? And the crazy thing is that the Texans still had a chance, despite all of that, to really almost come away with that towards the end. But here's my question coming out of this game. I guess 2 questions. Let's go with the losers first. And we kind of talked about this, at least in the chat, with my brother and Lee J and Caesar. Is CJ Stroud that guy? I don't know, man. I know the coach said after the game that he's our guy going forward, blah, blah, blah. But that's, you're saying that in the heat of the moment after the loss. But, man. And I know guys were hurt. I get it. Nico Collins was out. They had guys dropping the offensive line. The tight end got hurt. I get that, but, man, he was making some fucking terrible decisions out there. Like forcing a lot of mistakes. For a lot of those interceptions. So, Lee J, I'll ask you first. Is it fair to put CJ Stroud on the firing line right now for the Texans?
No, and it goes to my point that I've always said. And I think we always talked about this here. This is the problem when a fucking rookie quarterback comes in and does well, and everybody thinks he's the next whoever he is. It still takes time. He may come out winning. Let him be here 5-6 years, and then we have a final opinion on him. Everybody was ready to don him and king him and put the crown on him, and here we are. Now you want to get rid of him. Is it fair? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I'll ask Texans fans this: who you going to bring in? Because you ain't drafting nobody. You're at the bottom of the draft. So who you bringing in? Maybe you get a veteran that wants to play quarterback here. Maybe you let Davis Mills take over the reins. Do you really want that? A lot of unfortunate things happen. That's part of the game. I don't want to put the blame on that. But, the defense wasn't the best either. And I thought that was their sticking point.
Yeah.
It was, I wouldn't just give up on this kid just yet. Not yet. It's just still too early after one game. I mean, he had a bad game. It happens. It's too early. That's my opinion.
Eric?
Yeah, I kind of agree. But I think in that particular game, I would have took him out at halftime.
That I agree with. Yeah, that's a different.
You guys, argument, that's interesting. Okay.
I mean, to be fair, some of the balls were tipped, and whatever it happens, tipped, blah blah blah. They were still interceptions. I do agree with Eric. He should have been. He should have been taken out.
The 2 reasons I say that is because CJ Stroud, he just had a look on his face like he was shook.
Yeah, he definitely did.
It's like, I don't want that guy leading my team right now.
Mm-hmm.
And Davis Mills, say what you want about Davis Mills, but during this winning streak, he won
he
about
three
four.
games. Yeah,
I think three or four games.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He's the reason why they were in the position they were in.
Exactly.
Because CJ Stroud was hurt with a concussion, I think, or something like that.
So I would have took that chance and put Davis Mills at halftime.
I agree.
He's not the finishing, he's not going to be your next quarterback. But just for that particular game, I would have given.
I think it would have just, to your point, I think it would have just calmed things down.
Exactly.
And everybody just, because, you, like Eric said, you have that look on as a quarterback, that trickles down to other players.
Absolutely. You get in
that
that
huddle. They don't
huddle,
see the confidence in their quarterback. They're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What is happening here?
Absolutely. You get in that huddle and you see a dude.
And I also wonder if that finger had to do,
when he hit his helmet.
Finger, you see it was like fucking bleeding. I don't know if his nail fell off or something like that. He had a finger issue where I don't know if he could grip the ball or something, and he wasn't telling them. Maybe he was telling them, "Oh, I'm good."
Yeah.
Lying to them just so he could continue to play. But I think Ryan should have just been like D'Amico Ryans, the coach of the Texans. To Eric's point, yeah, I agree. He should have been benched. And it doesn't have anything to do with like the long term. It's just for that moment in time, they should have just did something else.
Eric, what were you saying about the huddle thing?
No, I mean, like to Lee J's point, is like you get in the huddle and your quarterback's supposed to be commanding that huddle and taking the lead. Mm-hmm. If you look at your quarterback's face and it looks like a deer in the headlights in the middle of a playoff game, I don't have any confidence in that guy. And that's how CJ Stroud looked the other day. It's like he looked shook. And I could see it in his body language. Honestly, it didn't look like he didn't want to be there that first half. So I would have took him out in the second half. And just to troll Ohio State fans a little bit, they do not produce good quarterbacks, by the way. So just they're great at every other position, but their quarterbacks never produce in NFL.
By the way, looking back at some of the stats from that game, the Texans only had 48 yards on the ground.
Keep talking. I'll be right back.
Yeah. So that did not help. I don't know. Like with the Pats, I tell you what, May's got a fucking problem holding onto that ball. I mean, he's got a huge problem holding onto that ball. And let's see. He had the one interception yesterday, but he also had 2 fumbles, and he lost both fumbles. So, and that's been a problem for him all year. But I don't know. I'm going to be curious to see how they stack up against the Broncos. And now, for those who've been living under a rock, we found out that Bo Nix broke his fucking ankle, which is like insane. We all thought it happened on like the kneel down, but apparently he had heard it before then. Mm-hmm. So that just sucks, man. Because you want to see like the best players playing, for a chance to go to the Super Bowl. So, listen, there's not really much to say about the Seahawks and the 49ers. Seahawks fucking destroyed the 49ers 41-6. And I guess my question there, and Eric, we'll start with you. I don't know, are we taking the Seahawks seriously here as a Super Bowl contender after that game on Saturday?
Hey, listen, they got the home field advantage. And when you get that crowd behind you, anything can happen, man. And so I don't think they're going to win this week. I'm going for the Rams. I picked the Rams as one of my Super Bowl picks.
Yeah, right.
So yeah. I'm gonna keep with them, but I wouldn't put it past unless Sam Darnold does something stupid and does a major interception. It could go either way this game.
Yeah, I agree. Lee J, your thoughts on the Seahawks obliterating the 49ers?
It doesn't change. I picked the Seahawks to win the Super Bowl once we did our little playoff thing. So I'm sticking with that. I think they got the defense. I think as long as they don't turn the ball over to what I think Eric just said, no dumb interceptions. Their running game is, even though I think one of the running backs is hurt, I'm not 100% sure. I think
he's out. Yep,
yeah,
he's out.
Which one?
Charbonnet.
It is Charbonnet. Yeah,
he's a good player.
Yeah, they still got Walker. Who's a fucking beast.
16 yards.
That I think I've never been there for a Seahawks game, but I think you could feel it and hear it on television, man. that crowd is fucking loud.
Did you see the what was it, kick return for the touchdown? It registered as a small earthquake in Seattle.
Jeez.
That's how loud it was.
Bro, that you could hear it. That's like shoot him to the top of the charts. That has got to be the number 1 12th man
Yeah.
in the NFL. That stadium is fucking loud.
Which is crazy to think about. Seattle, you know.
Yeah, I'm not gonna change. I'm gonna still stick with that. I'm gonna still stick with Seattle. And I don't have an issue with Sam Darnold like a lot of people do for some reason. I mean, he got a raw deal here, and I want to see him win. Fuck it, I don't care.
Finally, Leach, you wearing that Bears hat to troll? I mean,
come on, man. You know why would you ask me? That's insulting. Do you know who I am?
The Bears.
I'm sorry, Luke. But you know what? To be fair, I think Luke he was kind of on the same page too. He makes this mistake, it's going to be over. But anyway, go ahead.
And he did. Bears lose dramatic fashion, 20-17. I'll say one thing. That fucking play at the end to send them into overtime. I don't know how the fuck that he even got that ball off and not throw it blindly, because you have to have a general idea that my receiver's going to be in that area if I throw the ball like that. But, you know, I'll give Danny credit because he was saying Williams had a lot of shitty throws for most of that game. And look what happened at the end, the interception. And then the Rams go down the field and win 20-17 with fucking cayenne pepper in their socks. Did you guys see this?
Yeah.
They were putting cayenne pepper in their socks to stay warm. Which is like insane to me to think about that. Yeah, I don't know. I listen, the crazy thing is to think that the Rams were considering trading Stafford in the offseason, and to the Giants no less, it makes me laugh that this is the situation where they're a win away from going back to the Super Bowl. But Eric, any general thoughts here about the Bears and the Rams?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think that play that you mentioned with Caleb Williams putting it into overtime was a crazy play, but it's going to go down as the Andy Chavez play of football.
Yes.
It's a great play.
Yeah.
Didn't mean shit.
And it doesn't matter.
Didn't mean anything. We go crazy. Everybody goes crazy about the Andy Chavez catch. It led to nothing. So, I just think going back to when we first started this episode talking about analytics, Ben Johnson, dude, it's okay to hit some field goals every once in a while.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
He left like 6 points on the field, right?
I think he went 3 for 6 when it comes to fourth down plays. So you're talking about 3 times you could have hit field goals, and you wouldn't have been in that situation. So I mean, it's analytics could be the reason they lost that game.
Yeah, it's just Caleb Williams quickly turned into whoever you want to call him, straight into Nick Anderson, like I told William yesterday in the group text.
He went for, because I was like, that's a very Michael Jordan-esque type of play right there.
And turned right into a fucking pumpkin, which is the problem that I said. Eventually, this is going to run out to where he has his fabulous play. It's like, watching an NBA game, you have he just got dunked on, and then you lose by 20. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And I don't know, man. Whoever you want to blame on that play, I don't really care. He threw the interception, and it's almost I feel like people were waiting for that to happen, and it happened.
Yeah.
And it sucks.
I was too, yeah.
And it sucks, but I wonder how Luke felt at that moment when they were driving with him under center. Did he have any doubt? That would be my question to him about Caleb Williams on that drive.
Good answer.
Yeah.
But I got real quick. Atlanta, and that was the game that I was talking about with the analytics played a big part, and more so like there was like 2:07 left in the fourth quarter. The Rams had the ball, and it was third down, and they decided to run the ball. I'm asking why. Just take a chance. You have Stafford. I would not be worried about Stafford throwing an interception, to be honest with you. Mm-hmm. I have full confidence in him if I was a coach. Mm-hmm. Because if you run the ball there,
it's only 6 seconds off the clock.
Right, and it stopped at the 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So even if you throw an incomplete pass, it still stops the clock. Yeah. So why run the ball? You gave the Bears 2 a little bit under because they had to kick it off. A little bit under 2 minutes. So even if you had no timeouts, that's an eternity to come down the field and do what they did.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
And even in overtime, like you went from when they got down to like I guess it was the 35 or whatever. All of a sudden, that's when he started to decide, let's throw the bombs. Like, what? This is where you should be running the ball, in my opinion. But anyway, they wound up winning the game. It looked very cold in Chicago. Thank God I was here in my warm home. I'm not jealous of any of those fucking people. God bless them for being there. But it is what it is.
I've been out in that weather like that in that city.
That shit looks brutal.
By the way, Eric was right. They were 3 for 6 on 4th down yesterday. Right? Yesterday. That happened yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, AFC Championship game is going to be the Pats and the Broncos. Lee J, since your Texans are now out and you had them going all the way,
don't ask me this question.
What do you have now? Well, sorry, I'm gonna
ask you. You know my answer. This is like a stupid
you're
question.
Taking the Broncos, really?
Yes, I'm not picking the Patriots. I'm a Jets fan. You want me to pick the Patriots?
You got to take that out of the.
No, you don't have to take it out. That's why I want them to lose because they're the Patriots. Will, it's the Eagles versus whoever. Who are you gonna pick? You said it before during the playoffs. I can't pick the Eagles because they're the Eagles. That's my point. I'm not picking the Patriots because they're the Patriots.
I thought we could be non-biased here. Anyway,
you were non-biased. You said I'm picking San Francisco because it's the shit Eagles.
Oh my goodness!
Thank you,
Eric. Who do you got winning this game on Sunday?
I'm gonna go with.
Originally, I can't even remember if we had.
Originally, I had the Buffalo.
That's right. That's right. So did I.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go with New England strictly because the Jared Stidham is quarterbacking for Denver.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, the Denver defense is good enough to maybe win this game if Stidham doesn't do anything dumb.
Mm-hmm.
And then that crowd, you talk about Seattle crowd, Denver's probably second or third as far as
they're loud too.
Toughest places to play. So that could play a role, but I think New England may go back to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I'm taking the Pats too because I mean, it really comes down to the whole Bo Nick situation.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I just don't know. It's funny. Did you guys see what Nick Foles tweeted out? He was telling Broncos fans not to be in despair because he did it as a backup, so you never know what could happen again. But I don't know, man.
There's Sean Payne. He was like, "Don't worry about it. He'll be ready." Mm-hmm. I believe in Sean Payne.
Oh yeah,
he knows what he's doing. He knows the game plan he wants. It's not going to be a bunch of throws. I don't think they're going to rely on the running game. They're going to rely. They're going to rely on the defense. Because to be honest with you, not toward the end of the game, Drake May wasn't having a great game either. To be honest with you, it's not like the Patriots were fucking lighting it up offensively.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of that had to do with the defense, and this defense is pretty good as well. So let's see what happens.
All right, NFC is going to be the Seahawks and the Rams. I had the Seahawks going to the Super Bowl. That doesn't change here. Give me the Seahawks in the NFC title game. So it'll be my Super Bowl now is Seahawks and Pats. Lee J.
I haven't changed Seattle.
You still have Seattle.
It's fucking Texans fucked up my perfect fucking Final Four, those fucks.
Eric, what about you? Did you still have Seattle, right?
No, I had the Rams.
You had the Rams.
That's right. You had the Rams. You were the outlier.
I had the Rams going all the way, so I'm picking them.
By the way, I just want to see. Have we looked at the lines yet? No. Let's see.
I have not. I would think Patriots are favored
right now. Does somebody want to look that up because my shit?
I'm going right now. I'm looking right now.
Not loading for whatever reason.
Pats are favored by 4.5. And the Seahawks are favored by 2.5. That says right now on FanDuel.
Interesting. Okay. That's All right. Anything else to say about football? We talked a lot about football for an hour and 20 minutes. Holy shit. Lee J, your turn. You're up.
No, I'm good. I said what I had to
say. No. You said you had some things to mention.
Oh, yeah. I got a couple things here I want to do.
A little halftime thing or whatever.
Being that we didn't have one. So the first thing I want to talk about.
Oh boy.
So I was listening to one of the shows last week, and they brought up this thing. I guess it was a conspiracy theory. Have you heard about this Project Anchor thing that's supposed to be happening this year? It's like I guess it's a conspiracy theory with NASA and all of that.
No.
Well, apparently,
I have not heard
on
this.
August 12th, 2026. Eric's looking out the window preparing. Oh, Eric probably heard it. Yeah. You heard it, right,
He
Eric?
shook his head. He shook his head.
Okay. On August 12th, 2026, we will lose gravity for 7 seconds.
For 7 seconds.
7 seconds.
We're going to lose gravity.
Tie your ass down.
Or be on your bed so when you go up in there, you fall back on something soft. You know what I automatically thought of when I heard this and I started laughing? Y2K.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That was more believable than this.
I didn't even fucking believe that shit either. Let me tell you something about Y2K. I was working at Walmart at the time, straight out the military, working in Walmart. Bro, I've never seen a store so ransacked and people bought shit. People were buying fish. Pet fish. People were buying pet food, and you heard them. You people need to be ready because this is the stuff that we're going to have to eat. Bro, the shelves were fucking empty.
That's hilarious to me.
And then they talked about this, and I was like, I just started I can't believe things like this, man. For whatever reason, I can't believe things like this. It's funny to me. The Earth is going to lose gravity for 7 seconds. So
7 seconds.
Like Eric said, tie your ass down.
Where does this come from, though?
Conspiracy theories could come from anywhere.
But why specifically 7 seconds? That's my question.
I don't know. This is something they've heard or saw. You know, some of the stuff that people read is not real, so they take it and this could be true because of NASA or whatever, and they run with it and they create their own stories or their own narratives.
So I can write this down. What is it?
August 12th.
2026.
Guys,
because if you bring it up, it'll come up as this is a false, it's a viral hoax, blah.
I just it up. Okay, hold on.
There are people on TikTok and whatever that believe these things. Yes. Right.
Just like, oh my God.
It only takes one person to believe something, to run with it, and then create their own narrative.
Let's do an emergency episode that day.
Yeah, what's what I mean? I was gonna make an ice joke, but I'm not.
To see, we're like, oh shit, we're floating, or we went fucking straight to the top.
Hold on. I just want to get this right.
I got a ceiling fan back here. My head will come.
Okay, hold on. So August 12th, right?
2026.
Is there a specific time that this is going to?
I think they did say the time. It was like 10:30 or something like that.
Oh, I missed it. All I see is a 7. They call it Earth will experience a 7-second gravity blackout.
Guys, I'm right. For the camera, I'm writing this on a Post-it note, right? And I'm going to put this on my monitor, right? So we can come back here. The first episode after this happens, supposed to happen, and we can discuss why didn't it happen? And I want to see what the people on Instagram have to say about it not happening.
So when you Google it, 4 bullet points come up. I'm going to read the last 2. The last 2 are what is actually happening. So apparently on that date, there's supposed to be a scheduled total solar eclipse, which has no effect on the Earth's gravity.
No, we've had solar eclipses.
And the 4th bullet point is, what if it did happen? While impossible,
we'd be dead.
Physicists note that a sudden loss of gravity would be catastrophic.
Yeah, we'd all be
causing
dead.
Oceans, atmospheres, and loose objects to float away, while the Earth's rotation would cause massive destruction, particularly along the equator. Conclusion: the rumor is a hoax that leverages scientific misinformation has been widely debunked. Like I said, it takes one person to believe something is true or somebody is conspiring against us to run with it, create something on TikTok, and this is what we have.
Well, that's the problem. Here's the problem. That's the problem right there. This stuff happening on TikTok, and bro, this is not just about conspiracy theories. This is about everything from what's happening with ICE to fucking elections to fucking aliens to the end of the world. People are. I don't understand. somebody runs with something on one of these platforms, and everybody's like, "Oh, that's got to be true. Got to be true." What are we doing here? And these are the people that we let vote. Seriously,
People are bored, which is why also I love listening to Sports Talk Radio because now they don't only talk sports. They have shit like this, which is entertaining to me because I just laugh at it, and it's just like, all right, let's talk about it.
I don't get it. Well, sir, what was the other thing you wanted to?
All right, so
something else.
Let's see if I don't know if you guys heard of I mentioned them before, the Downshift project. I think they're on Instagram. I like to look at their little clips and stuff like that. So they had one of wrestling, and I wanted to do this with you two guys. So I'm going to give you 5 wrestlers, and I'm doing this for a particular reason, and I want to know if you have this
ranking shit.
Yeah, and I want to know if you have the same reaction because I'm not into wrestling anymore.
Okay. Yes.
I don't watch it still like you guys do.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go exactly the way they did it. There's no surprises. I'm gonna do the exact same names in the order they went.
And we have to rank them 1 to 5.
And I'll go. Eric goes first, then you go with that same wrestler because I want to see where you guys rank them. No, but no, there's no hidden agendas here. I'm not gonna. My mind, like I lied to you about that black list and I changed it up. I'm not gonna change it. I'm not gonna change. I'm gonna do it exactly the order they did it. I think they did it with this famous comedian. What's his name? I think his nickname is Fluffy.
Mark Iglesias. Yes.
Gabriel Iglesias.
I think that's who they did it with.
Okay,
anyway, so
WWE guy.
there's a particular reason I did this because I think you guys are gonna have a reaction. But let's see.
Okay.
Let me know when you guys are ready. I guess who wants to go first?
We can let Eric go first.
Eric, all right. Yeah. The first one. This is top 5. The Undertaker. Where do you have him?
5.
Oh shit!
Fuck you, bitch.
Oh wow! Damn, that was. Oh, hold on.
Because I think a lot of good names are coming on this list. That's what I'm saying.
Eric, hold on.
I'm writing it down too. Eric Undertaker. I want to write this down too. I got 2 different lists here.
Okay, for me, I'm gonna go along. Eric's thinking that there are gonna be better names maybe coming along. I'm gonna put him at number 3.
3.
Yes.
Interesting. All right.
So Eric is 5. I'm at 3. Okay.
Okay. The second one he had here, John Cena.
Oh man.
I'm gonna put him at 4.
4. Okay.
I will put Cena at 5.
Hold on. Eric is at 4. Will's at 5 for John Cena. The third guy they mentioned, The Rock.
I don't like this.
I'm telling you, you could go back and search them. I did it the exact same.
No. I just because I'm curious who the other 2 guys are now.
I'm gonna put him at 3.
That's exactly what Gabriel had him as 3. And of course, he didn't know either what was coming.
Right. I'm gonna put The Rock at 2.
2. Will
so
The Rock.
My 4, my 1 still. 4 and 1. Okay.
Number 4. Jake Paul.
Oh,
Listen, I'm not in that world anymore. But this is why I did it, and I would assume that he's the equivalent to black licorice in the wrestling world.
He is.
He's actually pretty good, but not compared to these names.
But not like exactly. So Jake Paul.
Yeah, 6.
Eric only has 2 spots. He has 1 and 2.
Yeah, 1 and 2.
Put him at 2. Fuck it.
I got him at 4. Obviously, he's got to be 4.
So Will lucked out, I guess, in that aspect, kind of, right?
Okay, so who's the last?
Stone Cold.
Oh, there you go. That works out perfectly. Austin is 1.
So I wanted to do this when I saw this because I follow them and I don't get to listen to their podcast, but I do like. Sometimes I get ideas from them, and I wanted to give them a little credit because they do a good job. And I thought this would be funny with you 2 guys and see where you end up. Just because, and the only reason I did this is because they put Jake Paul, and I think that was a fuck with.
Yes.
Because apparently he's a big wrestling fan.
I like that. Yeah, I like the fact.
The reason why I said, you know what, I think they're gonna give the same reaction because this guy's on the fucking list. Yes, he may be actually good, but he's not mentioned in these.
He doesn't
names.
belong.
No,
yes.
no way.
Yes,
no way.
I mean, how long has he been wrestling? A couple years.
Yeah, about 2 years, 3
Yeah.
years.
I mean, listen, he's athletic as fuck. I will give him credit for that, and he picked it up really quickly.
Yeah.
But he's not mentioned that, right? Of
Yeah,
course,
no.
and this is why. So I was right, and I guessed right on why this would be fun. Yeah, but those are the
That's
two things I
pretty
wanted to do.
fucking funny.
Those are the two things I wanted to mention.
There's only one person that's missing out of this list.
Oh yeah. Hey yo, one cares.
Oh whoa!
I mean, there's no Hogan on this list either.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
holy shit. All right. Speaking of nobody caring, what about the Mets?
All right. I think Melissa's calling me. I gotta clean the bathroom.
So a lot of shit went down the past few days with the Mets. And we'll start here. They lost out on Kyle Tucker. He ends up going to the goddamn fucking Dodgers, who are just, signing everybody. But the next day, the Mets signed Bo Bichette to a 3-year contract. The problem is that there were opt-outs after year 2 in the year. Am I right about that?
Yeah, this is only a 1-year contract.
It's only a one. Oh, there's opt-outs after this year. I'm sorry, and after the next year. Here's the thing. So there are so many different directions we can take this, but I'm going to start here about whether this was a good move or not. And I have to admit, I'm a little. Am I glad that they signed somebody of his caliber? I am. Now, and I know we're going to hear. I know what Eric Lee is going to say about the contract because I don't like the contract either. But I will say this, and I saved the post from SNY with his stats, and I just want to read these things to you guys just so this is on the record. Bo Bichette had 59 hits with runners in scoring position, which led MLB last season, which is a 391 average. He ranks among the top 4 players since 2021 in batting average with runners in scoring position, hits with runners in scoring position, and hits with runners in scoring position and 2 outs. Bichette has a career 330 average with a 904 OPS with runners in scoring position. From that perspective of that part of the game, very much a welcome addition because the Mets, at least for the past couple of years, this is an area that they struggled with mightily. They don't have guys that hit to contact, and Bichette hits to contact. Here's the problem. And you guys can, once I say my piece about this, you guys can take this any way you want to. I don't understand how David Stearns can talk about run prevention.
Oh shit, I gotta go.
And I know this is probably something that Eric Legion was going to bring up. I don't understand how you could talk about run prevention when you are going to have players that are either playing out of position or haven't played said positions. And what do I mean by that? Bo Bichette's going to play third base. Bo Bichette is a shortstop by trade. That's number 1. Number 2, now we're hearing that Beatty's going to play first base. Beatty has never played first base. At least I don't think he has. Did he play it last year? I don't know. I got to check that.
I don't remember
if it's
that.
only one game or so, this is the thing I don't understand. Okay? And related to the run prevention question, what the fuck are you doing about the pitching? I don't understand. Lee J showing his notes.
I don't understand. Right here.
Yeah. I don't understand how, again, you're talking out of both sides of your mouth. You're talking about run prevention, but now you're going to have 2 guys playing out of position on the infield. Plus, you potentially could have a rookie that is more known for his bat in Carson Bench than he is for his fielding. Eric.
Oh, jeez.
The floor is yours, buddy.
Bro, I mean, I feel like it's a broken record, the shit we talk about. But
This is what, yeah.
it's like you brought up all the good points. It's like you have a first baseman that never played first base. You have a third base that never played third base. You have an outfield position open that who knows? Like it may be Carson Bench, it may be who knows who it'll be.
I don't even know. Yeah,
They talked about maybe Beatty in left field too. So
They
it's
were
like
talking about that this morning.
yes, they wanted to be the utility guy like McNeil was.
like McNeil, yeah. So I mean, at the end of the day, do any of these guys pitch? Because that was our big problem last year was the pitching, and we have yet to sign a legitimate starter for this team. You know, and you lose Edwin Diaz, that's a minus out of the bullpen. So I mean, I don't know. I like what you said. Yeah, Bichette, he's good runners in scoring position, and I see what Stearns is trying to do with this lineup. He's trying to get away from the home runs.
Yep.
More the on base, the average, running the scoring position guys, which I like that idea.
Yeah, I do.
But you can't mix and match in positions just to create that lineup. Now, if you would have told me Pete Alonso was still on this team, and I don't want to go back, he's gone. It is what it is. If you add a guy like Bichette with Pete Alonso in that lineup extends way further than it is now.
Yeah.
And the reason I don't like, you guys talked about the contract. I don't like that contract, a buyout after 1 year.
I hate it. Yeah.
Because anytime Pete Alonso had one of his best years with Soto in the lineup. Now, Bichette, I could see him having a monster year, and guess what he's going to do? He's opting his ass out to make more money.
Will and I talked about this weekend because it's a player option. It's not a team option.
It's a player option. So, and then did you hear about that $5 million bonus? Did you hear about that?
Remember I was telling you that, Will, too? The $5 million. Yeah, I was telling you that in the car ride to the restaurant.
So if Bichette opts out, the Mets give him $5 million.
$5 million. Yep.
So you're telling him we want you to opt out. That's basically what you're telling him.
That's
yep. Fucking stupid.
Yep.
So and I think that maybe the looming strike or whatever. Mm-hmm. That's why they only doing these 1 year option type of things.
Possible.
But I like Bichette the player. I like his hustle. I like his demeanor.
Yes.
But another thing that I heard about is I heard one scout talk about his arm. So from shortstop, he has one of the worst arms as a shortstop. Mm-hmm. So now he's got to make that longer throw to third. So that may play, and then we don't have Pete Alonso there scooping those balls anymore. Mm-hmm. So we'll see how that goes.
By the way, he did not play first base last year.
He didn't.
He was only at third and second base, and he's got one game in left field. One game in left field in 2023. Anyway. Lee J, I've been waiting to hear this.
I'm done. Listen, I don't even know where to start. I don't even know what to do.
I don't know what to do.
Because this guy just keeps proving my point. And like Eric just said, take off Bichette because anyone would want him on the team.
Sure, yeah.
But here we go. We signed another infielder. Well, we have a bunch of infielders in the minor leagues. So are you really telling me you don't have confidence in any of these guys? Mm. I heard this morning. I didn't think about it at first, but I had to really think about what this person was saying. And I'm starting to agree with them more. I feel like this was a desperate move because they haven't done shit so far this offseason. Yep. And I'm like 99 for, because here it is. And we talked about it this weekend. Bo Bichette was never mentioned with the Mets.
Neither
and usually when a big name is talked about in the offseason, they're always linked. The Mets like that word linked somehow, some way to an organization. And all of a sudden, he became whatever. He's never played third base. Beatty's never played first base. So it's not even about an out-of-position thing. We've all played different positions playing, and it's not the same. Don't get me wrong, guys. We've all played different positions throughout our course playing whatever, as far as we went playing baseball, whether that be high school, college, or whatever. That's out of position. When you haven't played a position at any moment in time in your career, that's not out of position. You don't even know the position. Mm-hmm. You have to learn the position. Bo Bichette's never played third base. Beatty has never played first. But according to Stearns, Beatty's our best third baseman. But as fans can see that as well. He should be at third base. If you're going to keep this guy and not trade him, he should be the third baseman. Bichette should be the DH. Or you should be trying him somewhere else, in left field or something. It goes to your point, which I wrote it down, Will. I don't want to hear about this fucking run prevention thing anymore. Because everything you're doing is the total opposite of run prevention.
It makes no sense.
And we forgot to mention Polanco, who's never played first base.
Right.
Who's a starting first baseman.
But I think he's going to be the DH now.
This doesn't.
That's yeah.
Apparently,
Anyway.
apparently the SNY lineup was Beatty the DH, Polanco at first, Bichette at third.
Okay, well,
so why are we holding on to Vientos, Mauricio,
why we?
Acuna Jr.?
This is the
trade
thing.
these guys.
Like
they got to get.
And here's the thing: it goes to the 1 year deal things. At the end of the year, when the lockout's going to loom, you're going to see a lot of guys signing long-term contracts because of that reason. So this 1 year deal preference, this thing is not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. So you trying to do it now, and then he has a good year and he opts out. Here we go again. And like I told Will this weekend, there's gonna be a year where there's no free agents to sign because everybody's gonna be signed, and we're gonna be left holding the bag because you think this 1 year plan thing works, and so far it has not. So what the hell are we doing here?
Mm-hmm.
What are we doing here?
He's supposed to be the smartest guy in the room, so no.
He could be the smart, whatever. He could be smarter than me. I'm not denying that. But like I said last week, baseball-wise, doesn't look like that to me. I don't care what anyone says. And everybody keep on with the, trying to give excuses. I like what has he done so far? He's done nothing. And then, we could pivot and we could get Bellinger. Bellinger wants 7 years. Bellinger ain't coming off of that.
Yeah.
He's going to get at the least 4 to 5 years. You're not signing him to that contract at 31, 32 years old. He's not doing it. I don't think Bellinger's even realistic right now. If they signed him and they got him to 1 year, sure. But then again, here we are with the 1 year. He's going to be gone again.
Yeah.
I think Bellinger is like Alonso. Listen, guys, I gave you the team-friendly deal. I produced. I want some security now. I want the 3, 4, 5 years. If you're not willing to give it to me, I'm going to go somewhere else. And here we are.
I wouldn't. The whole thing about Bellinger, I wouldn't have a problem with it. Obviously, look at the guy's numbers from last year. If you tell him you're going to do Bellinger to 3 to 4 years plus go grab a pitcher somewhere, I'm all for it. But I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, I'm not even happy with the Bellinger because the Bellinger, if they were to get him, you know why? Because everyone says a lot of people perform on their year that they're a free agent. Just look at the couple years before that. He's been dog shit.
Yeah, it's true.
So now the longer kid contract tells me toward the latter part of that contract, he's not going to be good, and he's going to be older.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really for that. I don't know how you feel, Eric. I'm not really for that. But
yeah, if short term, I'll do a 3-year deal, but I won't do any more than that for him. And I agree with the numbers he had the last couple of years. You compare that to the middle years was garbage. So I honestly think the Mets lucked out on not signing Kyle Tucker. Kyle Tucker doesn't seem to me like he's the type of player that would succeed in New York. And all the reports that I heard this one report say that Kyle Tucker spends more time on his phone than he does on scouting reports. So I mean, it could have been some scout that's pissed off at him or something, whatever the case may be. But I think they missed the boat. I mean, they lucked out on not signing Kyle Tucker to that crazy contract.
There was one thing that there were so many fucking reports that I'm getting nauseating. That people were surprised that he signed with the Dodgers because of the media market. And I think to Eric's point, if he's spending more time on his phone than scouting reports, that will probably come to light more in a market like New York.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if he would have went to Toronto, they don't give a fuck up there. You know what I mean? So I think a lot of people were surprised that he didn't go there. By the way, one thing I'm going to talk about, let's because this is kind of talking about the situation with the lockout. Kyle Tucker's annual average salary is more than Juan Soto's. And there is no fucking universe where you're telling me that Kyle Tucker is worth that $9 million more than Juan Soto. And I get it. This is just the way that the economics of the sport have shaked out. But the problem is that that's going to lead to a lockout
Yeah.
in September, in
Not,
October, whatever.
not only that, but I think I text you guys this. What they were talking about, the Mets' big issue was, the locker room. That's why they traded all these guys.
Right.
You imagine we signed Kyle Tucker with that crazy 60-something million I heard it was front loaded. So the first couple of years would have been like 65, 70 million, which is crazy.
Yeah.
And he walks into that clubhouse with Juan Soto on that team. Now, I don't know if Juan Soto will take offense to that, but you just don't know. You're taking a chance. Because Juan Soto probably is out working this dude right now. Juan Soto's probably in the gym right now working out, and Kyle Tucker is doing whatever. So you know what I'm saying? And that may bring some rift in the locker room, who knows? But yeah, and that's the way baseball is right now. Everybody's making ridiculous money, so it is what it is.
I mean, it is less years too, so I don't know if they're going to expand that to make the money equivalent or more because whatever the amount would have been more to sign him to 15 years, that wasn't going to happen. He just happened to get a 15-year contract. He got a 4 or 5 year contract. So, that's not going to listen. At the end of the day, I was saying this. This guy has been a free agent. He's not a big money free agent. No one talked about. You talked sparingly. If you know about baseball, you heard about him, but he's not like a Juan Soto or Bryce Harper or even Manny Machado when he was a free agent, right? I never thought he was worth that amount of money. Listen, he's been injured a lot. He didn't play. He was injured last year, a couple of years before that. Listen. While we were all in on this guy, I couldn't give you that answer. I'm not in the head of Rat Boy, but who knows? Maybe Cohen's saying it too. I don't know. He's another one playing stupid games on X like he always does. Dope. Maybe he sat him down. He said, "Listen, we haven't done anything. We're losing ticket sales. What the fuck are you doing?
It's possible.
What are you doing? We don't know. That's not going to come out."
Yeah.
But maybe he's telling him that. He said, "Listen, I don't really want to get rid of you. You're my guy, stuck behind you. I really wanted you. That's why I signed you. But what's happening here? I mean, unless you're blind, you can't. You have to see what's happening here, which is nothing. We're not even stockpiling players to say, all right, here's a big deal in the works, and we make it happen, or they make it happen. It's not even nothing's happening.
The problem with here's the thing, because you said something that that caught my attention. We're not doing anything. We're doing nothing. But does that mean you go out and make a move that in some ways doesn't make any sense to your ultimate plan? Because again, I'll bring it back to the run prevention. How can we talk about run prevention if we're signing guys that are going to be playing out of position? So it almost makes it seem like, Leach, you're right. I think maybe it might have been a panic move.
Yeah.
Even though it doesn't fit squarely with the plan, we're going to go out and fucking sign somebody because every social media post out there is killing us, raking us over the coals for not doing anything. Even though he doesn't fit our run prevention plan, let's do it anyway.
The only way this makes sense to me is if you turn around and you trade some guys for pitching.
Agreed.
If you turn around and you trade, Jet Williams or Mauricio, maybe even Beatty, and you get Scooble, or you get the guy from Milwaukee. If you get those, Peralta. If you get those guys, then your plan looks like it's making sense.
Yes, I agree.
But to stockpile prospects that play the same position, they're still on your team. What sense does that make? I mean, Bichette. Let's just say this is a 1-year contract.
And he'll probably be gone after next year if he fucking plays well.
He'll probably be gone. So then what you do? You're going to put Beatty, you're going to put him back again at third base. Mm-hmm. And then you need to sign a first baseman. So we're back at square one again. So unless this is leading to them trading for pitching, because I see it already what's going to happen. They're going to rely on Nolan McLean as his second year. The guy's technically still a rookie. You're going to put all that pressure on him.
Mm-hmm.
And then hopefully it doesn't become a nightmare.
I was going to say something about the pitching situation, but I can't. Let me think about that for a second, because there's something you said that I wanted to bring up. Peralta. Here's my issue with the Peralta situation. He's only got 1 more year on his contract.
Yeah, I said that. I said
Yeah.
that. We talked about
Yeah.
that too.
Yeah.
He wants a contract.
Right.
This
So
is another guy that's has taken team friendly deals, and instead of these guys finally want some longevity, some security, man. And I can't blame them for that. I've been taking I was taking friendly deals when you were here in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Now you want me to take another team friendly deal? Then I'm going to be 31, 32. No one's going to want to give me 5 years at that point.
Right.
I see it. I understand it.
That's the thing why I don't want them to break the bank trading for that guy, because if you can't guarantee me that you can sign him to an extension, don't fucking trade for him.
Which is probably what he's going to say anyway. Don't trade for me if you're not going to guarantee me at least 4 years.
Right. No,
but
I agree.
I understand what you're saying, but I'd rather do it for Peralta because at least he has 1 more year after that.
Well, right.
Than to do it for Skubal, because Skubal's a free agent after this.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. That's true.
I don't know. I don't see the plan. Whatever plan he had, I don't see that anymore. It's dissipated. I don't know. I don't even know what to say anymore.
What are we? How many days from spring training right now? We are 21 days. So
I think I might have to go to spring training and rub some heads.
You're close enough. How long did you drive to Port St. Lucie?
About 7.5, 8 hours.
Yeah,
that's not bad. I'll be in DR, so they can all fuck off.
Sipping on some Presidente beer.
All right. That's not an IPA, so.
Oh, I knew he was going to say. I was in that. That's why I put my head down. I was like, oh boy. In 3, 2, 1.
Dominicans don't do that sissy IPA shit.
Oh, wepa.
No, you can't say that anymore. No. You can't say sissy.
Sorry.
No, I don't care.
Don't want to get canceled.
Retard.
Hey, yo.
So, we're going to do something here that we rarely do, but there's a reason why we're talking about this whole thing. And if you're not in the tri-state area, you don't follow the New York Rangers, they are going through it right now. Like big time. If I'm not mistaken, I had the notes here. They are last in the Eastern Conference with 46 points. And they have been booed out of the building at Madison Square Garden. So what happened? And this is where listen, I think if you're a sports fan, you're going to have an opinion on this, because it's an interesting situation where Chris Drury, who is the GM of the Rangers, comes out with this letter on my birthday, no less. And I'm going to read the letter here. So please be patient with me. But I think it's a good conversation to have, because listen, all three of us root for teams that have gone through it. Mets, Jets, Nets, Knicks, Giants. All those teams have gone through bad stretches. So I just think it's interesting that this thing that the Rangers decided to do was have this letter. By the way, second letter in 8 years. I'll get to that in a minute. Here's what they said. A message from Chris Drury to our fans. We want to take a moment to connect with our loyal and passionate fan base. We know and feel your disappointment with how the season has gone to this point. We are just as frustrated and want nothing more than to deliver an on-ice product you can be proud of. It's what drives us every day. No one in the organization is happy with what has transpired, from management to coaches to players. Over the last few years, we've had some successes and moments to cherish, but ultimately, it was not the end goal. We are working relentlessly every day to bring a Stanley Cup back to New York, because this is what our fans deserve. With our position in the standings and injuries to key players this season, we must be honest and realistic about our situation. We are not going to stand pat. Our shift will give us the ability to be smart and opportunistic as we retool the team. This will not be a rebuild. Sure it won't. This will be a retool built around our core players and prospects. We will target players that bring tenacity, skill, speed, and a winning pedigree, with the focus on obtaining young players, draft picks, and cap space to allow us flexibility moving forward. That may mean saying goodbye to the players that have brought us and our fans great moments over the years. These players represented the Rangers with pride and class and will always be part of our family. As we start on this new strategic plan, we will continue to play hard with pride and passion for our fans. We appreciate your unwavering support for the Rangers. more than we can describe, and thank you for all that you do for our organization. You will begin to see some of our plans come to light in the coming weeks and months. LGR. Here's my first thought when I saw this, because I'm a casual hockey fan, casual Rangers fan. Why does this keep happening with this franchise? And I feel like here's the other thing too, and this is a universal thing, regardless of hockey, football, baseball, whatever. Why are you not hiring the right people to turn this around? And why are we doing this again and again and again when it comes to the Rangers? I can actually appreciate the letter to an extent of, because I complain about the Nets all the time. I have no idea what the Nets are doing with all these draft picks and stockpiling, and why aren't they going after guys? Leisha and I talked about it last week. Where's the superstar guy? Where's the transparency here? I don't know what's going on with the Nets. We don't know what the fuck's going on with David Stearns. He might say, he says one thing and something else is happening. At least we got clarity with the Giants this past weekend. I just think it's funny that this type of stuff keeps happening and they keep on saying the same shit. They've said this. This is the second time in 8 years. They came out with a letter in 2018 when Glenn Sather was the president and Jim Corton was the GM. I read it before we hopped on. It said almost the same exact thing as this letter is saying now. And I just think it's like, what the fuck is happening with the Rangers that this keeps on coming? Keeps on being the problem. Some people were like saying, I was reading some comments about this, about the letter, that they welcome the transparency. But I think the bigger question is, why does this keep happening? And Lee J, you could take this any way you want, because I know we kind of talked about this a little bit over the weekend. And it's not necessarily about the Rangers per se. It's more about, what are these sports organizations doing that they keep on putting themselves in these situations where they have to put out a fucking letter like this? So you can take it any way you want.
This is one letter too many. That's number one. You could do this letter once. If that was me and I got that letter in the mail, I would have fucking burned it. I would have not even read it because I know there's nothing in there that's good.
Yeah.
And I don't want to keep on hearing about these apologies. It's stupid. I'll say this: you can't blame Dolan because he keeps his hands off of hockey.
Right, he does.
He lets the Rangers do their thing.
Yeah.
General manager, he lets them do their thing.
Mm-hmm.
He believes in them. Whatever. But before this, the coach now is Mike Sullivan. Previously with and I'm not your hockey guy. I'm just going off.
Right. Yes.
Typically, what I know, what I could Google. Mike Sullivan, I think he's previous Pittsburgh success there, Stanley Cups, yada yada yada. But the last two coaches they had, Gerard Gallant, he coached from 21 to 23. He reached the Eastern Conference Finals in 22. He was axed.
Right.
Peter Laviolette, coached from 23 to 25, led them to the President's Trophy in 23 to 24. He got axed.
He gets let go. Right.
To me, that's your problem.
Right. Yes. Yeah, no, I agree, because I always say being an NHL coach might be the most unstable job in sports, because you can get let go even if you fucking win.
If you win. And listen, neither of these two guys that I mentioned won a Stanley Cup. I give you that. But they were here for a short period of time and had some success.
Yeah.
One went to the Eastern Conference Finals, one had the President's Trophy, which is what? The best record in the NHL,
best record
no?
in the league, yeah.
But they got both fired after 2 seasons.
Yeah, and I will say that the whole thing about Laviolette being fired, it's because it was not expectations, because they won the President's Cup, but they didn't perform in the playoffs. So that's why he got let go. That was the reasoning, I think.
And
anyway.
Playoffs is like this in every sport. We said it. You don't know what's going to happen in the playoffs, but he still had success. And after 2 seasons to fire the guy, to me, that's the problem. And you want to bring in this big name like Mike Sullivan? What has he done so far?
Mm-hmm.
So you're telling me next year, let's say he makes the playoffs, losing the second round, you're going to axe him too? You're not going to find any stability there. This is the reason why they haven't won in a long time. They haven't won a Stanley Cup since 94. And the shit show is going to continue to happen on Broadway. And I'm not a hockey guy, but that's just me looking and seeing certain things. And like I said, the power of Google.
Yeah. Eric, any thoughts on this?
I just think about it as this letter, and I agree with Lee J. There's one letter too many. This letter is for me a cop out for doing a press conference, and because when you do a press conference, you have eyes on you, you have Q&A, and they will rip you a new one.
Yeah.
So this is just a cop out. Let me send this letter out. Everybody can read it, and then that's my statement, and that's it. I don't have to worry about answering any questions. That's what I think this is all about.
The big thing to watch out for here, and this is fucking crazy. This is the thing. This is like, the trade deadline is March 6th for the NHL, and one of the names that keeps on coming up that they're going to trade is Panarin, and he's like one of their he's like one of their players, best players. But they were saying that the writing was on the wall for this trade because they weren't offering him an extension. So I feel like even before this letter came out, they already had like this thing in their mind about which direction that they were going to go in. But I don't know, man. It's just again, as a casual hockey fan, it's just interesting that and Leachy just kind of laid it out. Eastern Conference Finals, and then nothing. They win the President's Trump, Jesus Christ. They win the President's Cup.
The President's Trump. I wonder what that trophy looks like.
Whoa. They won the President's Cup, and there was a whole big hoopla about bringing Laviolette in here because he was like, one of these big names, and he gets let go after whatever it was, a couple of years. It's just interesting that there's like no stability here whatsoever for this team, but I don't know. In some ways, I do kind of appreciate the transparency, and I love how they're saying that this is not a rebuild. Yeah, I guess time is going to tell them.
Yeah, they could take that transparency and shove it up their ass if I was a Rangers fan. Because, like I said, you're only allowed to do this letter once. I think even your biggest hockey fan, Rangers fan, in my opinion, on the fan is Boomer Esiason. I like to listen to him when he talks about how he knows a lot.
Yeah.
It sounds like he knows. And he's pro. You should hear him talk. He's fed up.
Yeah, he
said, I want to see your fucking letter and all this other shit. He's very knowledgeable on the sport. So,
yeah.
So it's good to listen to him talk. He's fed up too.
I'm curious because, the Rangers and Knicks tickets are always fucking expensive, right? Let's see. How much you guys think their next home game is January 26th? We're getting close to the Olympic break.
Which is what, next Monday?
Yeah. So how much do you guys think they're playing? Oh, boy, they're playing the Bruins. How much do you guys think that's going to be?
The worst seat is going to be like 2+, 250.
Actually, it's cheaper than I thought that would be. You guys want to take a guess? You said 250?
No, you said they're cheaper now, so I have to go lower. So I say 160.
Eric?
I mean, the worst seat in the house you're talking about?
Yeah, the worst seat in the house on StubHub. How much do you think that's going for right now for that game against the Bruins? It's always like people traveling from Boston and shit.
I'm going to say $85.
Eric, Lee Jason was closest. 153.
153.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's a section 226, which is pretty close. 156. I feel like the tickets are, if that sounds like they're getting cheaper, they probably are getting cheaper. Because somebody was listing, I'll tell you right now, somebody was listing something in section 107 that was $435 that they cut down to $275. So I think we're starting to see
when that happens, that's just the fans are telling you something.
Yeah,
that person's reading it.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I don't even know how what's Boston's record. That might have something to do with it too. I'm not sure.
Record right now. Let's see quick on NHL.com. Eric, you're gonna say something?
No, it's something real quick.
20-19, is that correct?
Yeah, they're right in the middle of the.
They're fourth in the Atlantic Division.
Yeah, fifth. I have them as fifth. Yeah.
Lee J said something funny with Boomer Esiason, and it brought a funny thing that I was listening to their show one time, and this caller called in, and he was like talking to Boomer. He's like, "Well, Boomer, you talk about you're such a big hockey fan and a Knicks fan, but I never see you at these games." And so then Boomer comes out and he goes, because they always bag on John Franco. Because John Franco's always at the Knicks and Rangers games.
Uh-huh.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah, because they always put him on the screen.
On the big screen.
So Boomer came out and said, "You know why you never see me at the games or on the screen? Because I pay for my tickets."
I do remember him saying that.
He said, "John Franco don't pay for his tickets. He gets it free. That's why they put him on the screen, because that's part of the caveat of getting a free ticket is we got to put you on the screen."
He's also saying that since I'm paying my own money, I'm not going to see the shit product without even saying I'm going to see the shit product.
Yeah.
That's funny. Damn, John Franco is John Franco? I don't know. He's a New Yorker. He's a native New Yorker.
I was just about to say that. He's a native New Yorker. He's from here. He pitched for the Mets, St. John's, all that.
I get it.
That's the reason why.
Because I feel like,
I mean, Boomer's a native New Yorker too, but I guess I don't know. Maybe they see it differently. I don't know.
Yeah, they probably do.
Maybe they don't like his real opinion on the Rangers.
That's what it is.
And on the Knicks.
Yep.
Maybe they don't like it. So maybe that's part of the reason why they don't mail him no tickets or call him and say, or maybe he says, I don't want to be on the big screen or something. I don't know.
Before we hop into our Mount Rushmore, I know the Knicks are playing right now. Anything to say about the Knicks right now?
Nope.
Nothing.
My opinion has not swayed. I told you, talk to me in an All-Star break.
Okay. I will say one thing. I think Danny might be a closet Knicks fan, and the reason I say that,
I already said that a long time ago.
Yeah, here's the thing, and here's to add to my fuel, and Eric will let me know because you don't really know my brother too well. We're sitting there. We came back to my apartment Saturday night, right after we watched the Bills game. We came back. We went to the place to get ice cream and whatnot at that midnight ferry, and we walked back and watched the rest of the football game, and we were watching St. John's. And then at some point, St. John's game was done, but the Knicks were still playing, and they end up losing to the Suns on Saturday. Bro, he was reacting to some of the plays that like he was a fan, and I'm sitting there to myself, and I'm like, this is very strange, because Danny's a Lakers fan, so he says, right? But he was reacting like he was very invested in the outcome. He was like, "Oh, the Knicks suck. They're done." It's like, bro, it's not even the All-Star break yet. Like, you sound like a Mets fan right now. So, anyway, I just thought I would throw that out there because I thought it was very interesting that he.
That's funny.
I think he's a closet Knicks fan.
I've said that already. Just based off his texts. His texts are not like my brother's, who's 100% trolling, who hates the Knicks. Right. You could tell by his text messaging. Danny's text messages sounds like he's concerned. Trolls don't do that.
Unless you're a what do they call it? Concerned trolling, Anyway, I just thought that was funny. All right, we're at the end here, and we're less than 3 weeks from the Super Bowl, and Lee had a good idea to do our Mount Rushmore of Super Bowl food items. And when Lee suggested this, I had to think back. I'm like, God, did we do this already? So I went to go look at the past episodes for the Mount Rushmores, and we did not. I think the thing is that we do so many food ones that I got confused. So,
and the only reason I did it now is because that Monday is the first Monday before the Super Bowl, and I'm not going to be here for that episode. So that's why I just figured we could do it now.
Yes,
which is the 2nd, February 2nd.
Yeah, because that's when we'll do our Super Bowl preview episode, and we would probably talk about it then. So, how about we go with Eric first on this one? Your number 4 food item.
So my number 4 would be just an old school Italian hero sandwich.
Ooh, that's good.
Whether it's like when how if you go to the old school delis, they make those big
6-foot joints. 3-foot joint. Yep.
We will have that at my mom's. Yes.
Yeah. That's number 4 for me. That can't go wrong with that.
No, absolutely not. Lee J, you're number 4.
Number 4 is a bit of a tie, so you could take it however you want. The jalapeno popper.
Oh, interesting.
Or one of my favorites, pigs in a blanket.
Pigs in a blanket.
Oh my God, I could eat like a fucking 100 of those things. and then feel awful about myself afterwards. I don't give a shit. Who cares? Yeah, but that's my number 4. We all know Will's number 1, but we'll get there.
Yeah, we all know. I mean, it's not even a fucking question what my number 1's gonna be. My number 4, it's a bit boring, but I still feel like it's a good, and it's a combination of. Well, let me just say what it is. I think having it's very underrated to have like a good dip, right? And you can have for 2 things. Because I like dipping like the little veggies and shit, and for the chips. So let's say chips / veggies and dip. Because I don't know, man. This is something about like dunking little vegetables and chips into that, especially a sour cream one. That is that's a good one. I also knew somebody who used to make a shrimp dip, which was very, very good. Oh my god. Very, very good. So
Shrimp cocktail?
No, not shrimp cocktail, shrimp dip. Or shrimp cocktails on my list. So
yeah, I'm not a big dip guy.
That's what she said. Number 4 for me is a good dip that goes along with chips and the little veggies. Your number 3, Eric.
So my number 3 is similar to your number 4, which is
okay.
It's a dip, but it's a specific dip.
Oh, okay.
And it's buffalo chicken dip.
Oh, that's good. That sounds great.
So, bro, I have a good friend of mine that lives around here that his wife makes an amazing buffalo chicken dip, man. So when I have like Super Bowl party or whatever, I always tell her, you could come, but you better make that dip.
Bring that shit. You better bring that.
Yeah. So I if you find somebody that makes a good buffalo chicken dip, man, it tastes amazing.
That does sound amazing.
Yeah.
Everybody knows how much I love buffalo wings. So, spoiler alert. Lee J, you're number 3.
Number 3 is just regular buffalo wings, whatever flavor. I don't mind. I don't want any ranch. I don't want no fucking blue cheese. I don't want any of that shit. Just give me the regular wings, and that's how I'm gonna eat them.
Fucking weirdo.
Blue cheese is fucking for people that don't have souls and are fucking animals. That's just disgusting.
All right, let me get out of here then.
And ranch is for pigs too.
Jeez.
Just give me the fucking wings with whatever sauce is on there. Even if it's just a plain wing, I'm good with that. You could keep your sauce and shove it up your ass because that's what it tastes like.
Okay. Lee J's damaged, so just ignore him.
Blue cheese is for people that drink fucking what are those things called? Bloody Marys.
Bloody Marys, yes. We've been over this a million times, and you're wrong.
Yeah, let's put up a poll. I bet you'll lose.
Number 3 for me, I am going to go along with what Eric said before because my mom, they always order these things. They order the American sandwich and then the Italian one. So yeah, I usually end up going home with a lot of leftovers from the party because we always have a party. For those who aren't aware, like the Super Bowl is a big deal in my house, in my household. Like every year we have a big fucking party, lots of food, people come over. It's a thing. So number 3 is the sandwich, the Italian sub. Eric, you're number 2.
So my number 2 is funny because when I go to a restaurant, I like to have this as an appetizer sometimes.
I wonder if he has the same number 2 as me. By the way you started it, it's funny. Go ahead.
But in a Super Bowl watching environment, it's kind of hard to my number 2 is nachos.
Oh, no.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's my number 2. And the reason I say that is because when you go to a restaurant, they put the plate in front of you and you got the
right.
nachos.
Yeah.
But when you're at somebody's house watching the game, it's kind of hard for you to scoop up some nachos, put it on your plate, and walk around with it like that. But yeah, I mean, bro, there was a one point in time my wife would laugh at this. Especially when we were dating, every time we would go out to dinner, I had to have nachos as an appetizer. To a point where I could have wrote a book and to tell you which nachos are better and which ones suck. That's how crazy it is for me.
That's awesome. I love nachos, like especially if you get like the loaded ones.
Mm-hmm.
But you're right; it's hard to do that at a party.
Yeah,
walk around with them. Lee J, you're number 2.
Number 2, empanadas.
Bro, that was my.
Oh, give me those shits all
I got
day.
a story about that.
Boom. You can make a whole one. I just make a bunch of them and I just cut them in half. That way you can see what's there, whatever, ground beef, cheese, whatever, chicken, and have at it. I'll be making those Sunday too, Super Bowl Sunday, be all good.
Bro, two years ago, I had a Super Bowl party in my house, and I bought heroes. I bought nacho, all of that stuff. The first thing was when my wife made her empanadas. That thing went in like before the first quarter was over.
You know what the crazy thing I think is too is about that is that if you make them well, that's number one. You know, and the whatever stuffing is, if it's seasoned well, it's good. And I hate to do this, but I have to do sometimes with race. Some people are not used to having a particular thing that they make. They look forward to like the buffalo chicken dip.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't make something and you go into someone's house, that's what you're looking forward to, especially if their significant other, like Eric's wife, makes them and they make them well, they get attacked.
Yeah. Oh, bro.
And they're gone.
my boss, when we used to have parties for work, like we would try to do, like each quarter we would have like a get out for everybody to enjoy it, whatever. And sometimes we would call it like a barbecue Friday, like everybody brings something. My boss would specifically ask for my wife to make empanadas every single time, like literally every single time.
Damn. Yeah, I think my mom will have those. They usually order. I think that will be on the menu. My number 2, simple shrimp cocktail. It's a staple at my abode. My mom's
fancy.
Yeah, no, dude, it's not. It's like supermarket shrimp cocktail. It's probably the best stuff. It's from fucking Stop and Shop. It's not that fancy.
Real quick, Caesar just sent it, but I saw it on Instagram. Jeff Hafley, the next head coach of the Miami Dolphins.
Oh, interesting.
The Green Bay Packers, DC.
Gotcha. Okay, that's another one down. But yeah, shrimp cocktail. That's always on the menu at the Hernandez household. So that's my number 2. Eric, you're number 1.
My number 1 is probably Will's number 1, and that's wings. But some people don't know how to make damn wings, man. So
that's true.
I prefer, and Will, you know the spot that I took you to last time you came here, Taco Mac.
Oh yeah, that shit was good.
So you could get wings either fried or roasted. I prefer them oven roasted. I just think it's a crunchier, whatever.
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
So I like a good oven roast wing with a side of Lee J's favorite blue cheese.
Yeah.
Let me ask you something real quick. Is it about the wing or is it about the dip?
No, it's more about the wing. But I like to have.
Why do
something
you need
to
dip
dip
for?
I think it's both.
Yeah.
No. That's not my question. Is it more about the wing or is it more about the dip? You see, Eric answered the question. You did not. Is it more about the wing or is it more about the dip?
I think it's more about it depends on the flavor of the wing. Like if you're getting a flavored wing, you could do just with the wing. If you're getting something that's just like original, I would need to dip that in some blue cheese.
Yeah.
Which goes toward the seasoning of the wing, which tells me that it's not about the wing, it's about the sauce. Because if a regular wing is seasoned well, you don't need dip.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's more about the wing than the dip. And so seasoned well, you don't need dip, correct?
And I'm not crazy about wet wings. I like I'm more of a dry rub type of wing.
Hey, yo.
Yeah.
Damn. I was not expecting that.
This is my point with foods, not even particularly to wings. It's just about foods that call for dipping. Like if it's about the food, I don't need a dipping sauce. If it tastes good, I don't need something to put on it.
I understand that. But I think in particular when it comes to buffalo wings done buffalo style, because when I get like the Thai chili and all that, I don't use sauce. I just because but for me personally, the combination of the buffalo flavor and the blue cheese goes together well. That's why I like it. So for me, it's in that instance with that sauce, it's both. If that makes sense. Anyway, Licha, you're number 1.
My number 1 is just regular pizza, all day, every day.
Oh wow!
Doesn't matter. Yeah, just give me pizza. That's what I want. That's my number 1. It's always a staple, and it's not going anywhere.
I mean, not surprising. My number 1 is the wings. They Here's the thing. I agree with Eric as far as the way it's cooked. I have to admit, I don't really like the ones that my
Excuse me.
mom orders because they're like breaded. Fucking hate breaded wings. Hate them. Not a big fan of them. But I eat them anyway because it's like they do this. That's a situation where the sauce actually tastes good and you don't need the dip because the sauce on those particular wings make the wing. Because I will eat them even though they're breaded. But yeah, buffalo wings is like. Matter of fact, next Sunday I'm gonna go get. They sell them the little small ones at the supermarket, and I will make them for myself for the to watch a conference championship game. So that's it. We're done. That is gonna do it. Do we have any closing thoughts? What's going on with the Knicks right now?
It just started. It's 2-2.
Started. Yeah, is anybody are we watching a national championship game tonight? What's the situation?
I'll probably watch some of it. I'm a Miami fan, so I'll watch.
I'll watch it.
I'm going to ask you. Yeah, go ahead.
I want to see how many nut job Miami Hurricane alum is on the sideline with Michael Irvin.
Oh, my fucking God, bro. Did you see they did a skit? I haven't seen it.
On Saturday Night Live?
Have you seen this?
I saw it, yeah.
With Michael Irvin?
He looked just like him, which is crazy.
I haven't seen it yet. I have not watched it yet. One other question. Do you guys care about the Winter Olympics?
Come on. Is that going on right now? I didn't even know.
No, next month.
Oh, okay.
It starts soon. No. Okay.
No interest.
Yeah, February. Who cares? I'm worried about the Earth losing gravity.
I got it here. August 12th. I got the sticky note.
Oh, man.
We'll see. By the way, it's a day after we record, so we'll have to wait until the next week.
Emergency podcast.
Yeah, emergency podcast if we lost gravity. So, all right, guys, that's going to do it for us. I'm Will Hernandez here for Eric Pimentel and Lee J. Perilla, and we will see y'all next week. Peace out, everyone.
Later.
See ya.